What's up, everybody? Happy Monday night, post football week 8. Let me know if you guys can all hear me in chat and if the music is too loud. Let me turn this down a little bit. Yeah, let me know how it go. Thank you. Welcome. We got Rickety Candy, Luke, Ernest, Blue Crew, Burke in the chat. What's up, everybody? Good to see you all here. Yeah, Ernest, this is one of my kind of miscellaneous ones that I was leaving open, and I figured it'd be kind of cool to do a little Monday night recap of how this week went and just talk a little bit previewing week 9. James Martin, what's up, my man? Thank you all for joining. I know there's a lot of streamers that you guys can be watching right now, so I appreciate y'all here. Oops, where did the Spotify just close? Let me pull that music back up. Yeah, let me know if you guys want the music up higher or louder. Very, very flexible with that. Here we go. And yeah, let me know what you guys think about the whole waiting room thing. It gives me a little time to set up the stream, but yeah, I thought it was kind of cool. Before we get into all the questions, so yeah, like I said, this is kind of a random stream that I just wanted to pop in for. Like I said, wanted to mainly talk about how this week went. If we don't have too many questions, kind of wanted to go over some of the players we talked about, what we got right, what we got wrong, and just give you all a little preview of what's to come this week. Oh, for sure, Burke. Yeah, the dog. Throughout the stream, you'll see the dog. She'll be going to a few different places. But hey, it looks like we got chat up on this side. Perfect. We got music. Yeah, let's go. So yeah, it sounds like we had a few questions to start. Let's answer those questions and then we'll get into our main topics. All right, so Rickety says, rate this trade. I gave away Mark Andrews and got McLaurin. So you got Scary Terry. I always talk about him as one of my favorite wide receivers, especially in fantasy. So we're giving up a tight end here and getting a wide receiver 1 is what I consider. So for wide receivers, you have Robbie Anderson, AJ Brown, T. Higgins, Rieger, Andrews, and Fant. I like that, honestly. You have a solid core of wide receivers, and I think the narrative needs to change a little bit with Mark Andrews. People think he's automatically a top 3 tight end, but really he's a super touchdown dependent. So I like that trade for you. I think I didn't think you needed McLaurin, but I think he'll pop in actually pretty nicely with AJ Brown and T. Higgins there, and you have some good depth. So not bad at all, not bad at all. Ernest, yeah, we'll talk about Jonathan Taylor. Blue Crew, welcome. Trade feedback, please. PPR, should I trade away Montgomery for Zeke? My other RBs are Kamara, Melvin Gordon. My wide receivers include Thielen, Cup, Godwin, T. Higgins. 4-4 with 2-game losing streak. So I actually like Zeke a little bit. They're both going to have pretty low floors right now, but Zeke has a higher ceiling. I think with Dalton coming back, he'll be able to perform a little bit better than how he is now. Montgomery, the one thing I will say about him is his volume is going up, but I just don't like that offense that much, even though, the Cowboys offense isn't that great. Zeke is just, 10 times the running back that he is. So I do like Zeke a little bit better there. Let's see. James, 1 week 8. Let's go. Luke, did I win CH and AJ Brown for Aaron Jones and T. Higgins? AJ Brown, oh, for sure. You got a running back 1 out of that, Luke. And even though I like AJ Brown a little bit, honestly, T. Higgins, his stock is rising a lot. So I don't think you lost a lot of value there, but you got a way better wide receiver than you lost at running back. The one thing I'm concerned about, it's not even Le'Veon Bell for Clyde. It's more so that if the Chiefs are going to be playing up a lot, then there's always going to be the issue of him not just resting him and not needing to play him. So I wouldn't, I like that. I like that for sure. Thoughts on this trade, Ernest? I get Aaron Jones and Myles Gaskin to receive Cook and Mixon. 7-1. Let's go, Luke. Let's see. So Aaron Jones and Myles Gaskin receive. I actually like that. I think, Cook, I think he's one of the best fantasy running backs, Ernest. And Mixon, when he gets back, I think will be a lot better than Gaskin. So I would pull that trade if I were you. I mean, we saw what Cook did, right? He went off of 4 touchdowns, and I don't feel like that's going to be the last time he does it this season. So I would definitely do that. Burke, I pulled the trigger Sunday morning and I did Swift and Diggs, trade for Aaron and Darius Slayton. Managed the week to be with Carson injured and Ravens. Oh, that's awesome. I mean, you did it well there. Although I'm starting to like Swift a little bit more. I still don't love the Detroit Lions sort of split, and I don't really know if I trust that offense that much, you know. So I mean, you got a solid. I mean, one of the better running backs in fantasy. And I think with how the Giants are playing, Darius Slayton is going to get used a lot. I did have him as a guy that I think is going to lose a little bit more targets to Shepard. Now that Shepard's back, but he's still a good option. I don't think you did bad there. That's great for you. James Martin, can I start Amari Cooper with Dalton Beck? Absolutely. I think he's gonna get a lot of targets from Dalton, so I would do it, even though, you know, how I imagine Cooper with Dalton back is probably like 12 targets, maybe like 7 or 8 catches for like 89 yards, and then you might be able to squeeze a touchdown here or there. So I think so. And James, well, you know, I think a lot of it depends on the rest of your lineup, the matchup. So as we get closer to, you know, actually setting the lineups, maybe on like a Tuesday or Thursday or even like Friday, Saturday night stream, I think we should look at it more closely, see how things are going. But I would feel confident starting him right now for sure. ISO, what's up? Welcome. All right, let's see. I already know I trade Cooks. Well, we'll see. I get that scare. I feel like that happens to me too, Ernest. But hopefully, at least you didn't make any trades this week for Kittle, right? Because that would have been a little rough. I've got solid starting running back and 2 running backs anyway, so flex spot left. Oh, perfect. Yeah, Brick. I think that's great. I mean, if Aaron Jones is your flex, you're fine. So I lost Kenny possibly for a week or two. Who's your favorite to fill in out of Kirk, Slayton, or Mike Williams? Yeah, so out of those 3, I would actually lean. See, that's tough. I kind of lean Kirk, Mike Williams, and Slayton ISO. Reason for that, so Slayton I like as 3rd because of the Giants offense and because he's not like the number 1 option. Neither are Kirk or Mike, but at least they actually kind of are boom or bust. So video dropping tomorrow, I'm actually talking about telling people to pick up Mike Williams. My thoughts on him, just to give you guys a little preview, is that he's boom or bust, but he leans a little bit more boom because I really like that Chargers offense, and I feel like there's a lot of, I think Herbert's a gunslinger, so hopefully, you know, there's 7 games left of the season, fantasy season. You start Mike every week. I would maybe imagine like a 5-week boom, 2-week bust, or like 4-week boom, 3-week bust. But I lean more boom than anything. He scored 20+ points in the last 2 out of 3 games. But Kirk seems to be a pretty, you know, good target for Kyler in the end zone. I mean, he almost had 3 touchdowns the last game they played, so I go Kirk, Williams, and then Slayton for sure. Ernest, what about this? Aaron Jones and Ridley for Robinson and Cook. I gave up Diggs and Hunt for Kittle and Gaskin. Oh man, that's tough. I mean, you can't really, you know, predict injuries, so that's unfortunate. But we'll find you another tight end to pick up. Oh yeah, ISO. I actually also have. Sorry, I missed that. I also have Lazard as a pickup this week. So yeah, watch out for the video tomorrow, and you should have a good at least like 5 to 8, 5 guys I like, and a few more guys that I think it could be like good stashes for now for sure. But yeah, Ernest. Anyways, Aaron Jones and Ridley for Robinson and Cook. I do like that if you feel good with your wide receivers, because at that point you're gonna have 2, like honestly top 3 running backs. I kind of have James Robinson and Cook in a tier slightly higher than Aaron Jones, but Aaron Jones like kind of right there in that 4 or 5 spot. Burke, exactly. Matchup dependent for sure. I also have Deontay Johnson. He's made of glass. And yeah, the thing with the Pittsburgh Steelers is that like he played this week, right? And he didn't do that well. They're gonna have to spread the love around a lot. And honestly, at this point, it's kind of a lottery. You know, it's a good lottery to play because you could be rewarded very highly if you pick the right guy. But I'm a little bit scared right now to start some of these guys. Exactly, Burke. I agree with that. I think he has a lot of upside, right? And if you did have to play him, like, I don't think you'd be disappointed, but in the case that he doesn't get a lot of targets or he gets focused a lot by the defense, you know, you might have a bad week. Sell him high if you can. Lean Mean, what's up, my man? Welcome. All right, so I don't know if any of you guys watched a game tonight, but man, that was kind of a nail biter, right? I don't know if we have any Bucks or Giants fans in here, but man, the Giants. I don't think anyone expected the Giants to really put up a fight, and they're up for most of the game until the end of third quarter, and almost tied it up at the end. That was yeah, that looked a lot like a PI, right? And I think a lot of it has that a lot of it has to do with maybe how far you're from the line of scrimmage and how much contact you have. But yeah, that's tough. I can't tell. Let me know what you guys think about Daniel Jones in the chat. I don't know how I feel about him. I actually think he has a lot of the physical traits needed. I mean, we saw him run and stumble on that 80-yarder last week, and he made some okay throws today. But a few of the plays that caught him, it honestly looked like he just missed through the receivers. He had a few open guys that he just missed through for potential TDs, go ahead TDs, or just nice corner routes here and there. He just missed through them. Even towards the end, when they were that last drive, right before they went to fourth down, he threw a super bad out route to one of his receivers where it, the linebacker almost caught it and got another pick. But yeah, it's not good. Oh, for sure. He does lose a lot of composure and 100%. I think that's what the commentators were saying. I didn't really get to catch too much of the first half, but it seemed like, at least from what I heard, he just wasn't throwing the ball out, when he needed to scramble out or when he needed to, just get rid of the ball. He wouldn't get rid of the ball. He would try and force it in, on the field and just get picked off. So not great, but honestly, they put up a fight. Let's look at the stats here. So Mike Evans finally showed up today. 7 targets, 5 for 55 and a touchdown. Gronk has still been, super consistent, so that's great. It looks like this guy, Jaden Mickens, which I don't think I've not seen much about him. A number 85 wide receiver for the Bucks. He got a lot of targets. He got 8 targets today, which is surprising because he got more than Scotty Miller. So that was really interesting. But otherwise, let's look at this. Man, Fournette, is Fournette taking over that backfield? He has 15 carries to Ronald Jones 7. And I know Rojo had a fumble, so I don't know if the coaches wanted to just bench him or they just didn't want to use him. But man, when I told you guys a few weeks ago, sell Rojo high, I think that, that's good advice, right? Also looks like Rojo averaged 3.5 yards per carry, while Fournette did 3.5. Sorry, 3.3 versus 3.5. Fournette got dropped to my... Yeah, nice, Luke. That's awesome. Yeah, that's not good. Yeah. It seems like that's always the case where you kind of mess up and you're in the doghouse. Jason, what's up, my brother? Lost Kiddo, should I pick up Tanyan, Cook, Fan, or Hurst? That's... so out of those, I would probably go... Again, it depends on the matchup. I'm gonna say this to everyone again. If Jason, is Trey Burton available in your league? Because if he is, I would actually go him. If not, out of those, I would probably say, let me think. I would probably go maybe Fant, Hurst, Tanyan, and Cook. Only reason I have Tanyan and Cook in the bottom is because Alan Lazard is coming back, and Michael Thomas is coming back too. So I think at least Fant is at least one of Drew Lock's go-to targets, and honestly, Hurst has been getting a lot of looks as well. Ernest, do we sell Jonathan Taylor? I would not, and this is a bad time to sell. So I'm going to talk a little bit about this, and I don't want to go too much into it because I have a whole content coming out tomorrow morning in regards to what we want to do, but I would hold Jonathan Taylor right now, and I don't think you I don't think you will be getting I don't think you can actually sell him very well. Sorry guys, it seems like I'm getting a little bit of lag here. Hopefully it gets better. Stream status, I think it's getting a little bit better. Let me know if I'm lagging at all. Jason, I would take Trey Burton over Fant for sure. At least that's my personal take. I understand, and again, I don't want to get too much into it because the content's coming out tomorrow. But essentially, he's gonna get the touchdowns. Okay, he like what you'll hear me say tomorrow is everyone's asking, hey, who is the running back for the Colts, right? Who's the red zone? Who's the guy they go to in the red zone to run the ball in? And the answer is Trey Burton. He scored 3 touchdowns in the last 2 games. They use him heavily in the red zone, and they use him as a freaking running back in the end zone as well. So, okay, good. I'm glad the stream got up. So, I personally like him a lot better. Otherwise, Jason, I would go with that order I told you. I would say Fant, Hurst, or even honestly Fant, maybe Tanyan, Hurst, and then Cook. But I just worry a little bit about Tanyan and Cook because they both have really good wide receivers coming back. Rosie, what do people think with Zeke and Amari? Dalton's coming back. I mean, Zeke had a decent amount of rushes, right? Zeke, let's look. Zeke had, I think he had at least like 15 plus, right? 16 plus rushes. Let's pull up the stats. And this is honestly what I want to do. I kind of want to, like, you know, we're going to have more streams this week to talk more about like trades and waivers. So maybe like if you have any urgent questions, let me know. But I think it'll be good to talk a little bit about sort of just like a recap of what happened this week and a few players we want to look at. So Zeke had 19 carries this week. I think when Don comes back, Cooper's going to get a lot more targets. It was weird. Gallup got a lot of targets from DiNucci this week. So, you know, good for him. I think that's the only time he's actually going to be relevant. But I still have hope for Zeke and Amari. So, yeah. Jason, no problem. Berg, Red Rocket, that's for sure. For sure. K Breezy, I got offered Christian McCaffrey for Kyler Murray, but my only backup is Cam Newton. Should I make the trade? Ooh. Man, I would take Christian McCaffrey if I were you. You might be able to pick up another quarterback, is what I'll say. But man, if it's a 1-to-1, you're kind of trading a potential #1 running back. And when I say #1, like could be the #1 running back for the rest of the season for like maybe like a top 5 quarterback. I think the top tier quarterbacks are a lot more interchangeable than the top tier running back, so I might want to pull that, K Breezy. Jose, I know Broncos, right? That's crazy. I didn't get to catch the end of that game, but man, Burke, that's hilarious. Yeah, maybe we got to get you a Cowboys contract. But yeah, them Broncos, how about them? That was great. I don't think anybody gave the Broncos any sort of like chance in that game at all. Which, you know, fine, but man, especially that, what was it? It was the end of like a last like time expiring touchdown, right? That was great. I want to review that a little bit. William, what's up, my man? Trade Janu, Evans, and Woods for Keenan Allen and Gaskin. William, do you need running back help, or like what's your running back looking like? Cause like I feel like you're giving up a lot more wide receiver for someone that's similar. So you're really just giving up sort of like a wide receiver 2 plus a potential tight end 1 for another sort of similar tier wide receiver. Jacob, should I start Antonio Brown or Kirk? I'm 4-4 with a 2-game winning streak. Yeah, so honestly, if you want to play it safe, I would go Kirk here. We haven't seen Antonio Brown, so I think start Antonio Brown this week if you're really desperate, but it's a bold move to start him when he hasn't played an NFL game in over a year, pretty much. Rosie, I don't know that he's inconsistent. I mean, yeah, he's had his up and downs, but I still consider him like a top tier wide receiver too. And Metcalf is still going to get a lot of attention. I like Lockett, and I mean, it's gonna suck that you're gonna have your up and down games, but you might have your 30 plus games a lot more too. So I think it's a good gamble to do, honestly. Yeah, and like Burke is saying, it is like sort of alternate, but not a lot of players can have those explosive games just like that all of a sudden. So it sucks, but sometimes that's the price you have to pay, right? Yeah, Lindsey looked great. He looked like, honestly, that game, I think that game, from what I watched, he looked like the better back compared to what's his face, compared to Melvin Gordon. So I kind of dug it. You know, I liked what he did out there. He looked really good. Don't mind, it could be a solid stash. Yeah, so William, you have CMC, Gibson, and Sanders. Okay. CMC, Gibson, and Sanders. Jonnu, Evans. So William, I honestly don't know that you need Gaskin then, right? I mean, unless you're super high in Keenan Allen, which like I am too. I wonder if you give up a little bit less, especially since Evans had a big game tonight. Maybe try and see if you can just do Jonnu and Evans for Keenan and Gaskin. I mean, that's gonna be a harder trade, but you know, I guess I wouldn't hate the trade if you made it. I just feel like you're giving up potentially a little bit more for some like two positions that's not really gonna like drastically improve your team, you know? Who's your other tight end, William? Or do you have another tight end? Burke, I completely agree. Like I said, not a lot of players can do that, right? So I think it's like you said, perfectly said. I think the highs are 100% worth the lows, and you know, I would keep locking unless you can get a surefire wide receiver one, some other way, pretty much. So, yeah, for sure. And I guess if we can we look at a trade value chart? You know, I don't really put a lot of you know, thought into these, but like if we look at a trade value chart from this week, Keenan Allen is worth 28 in PPR. Okay, so let's do 28 plus Gaskin is worth 16. So that's 44 points, right? Then we're looking at Jonnu Smith. Let's see, Jonnu Smith is worth 14 plus Evans is worth 14 plus Woods 18. So it's not that bad. I just think Evans, especially after this week, his value goes up a little bit. According to, you know, the trade chart from, what is this, CBS Sports from week 8, you're paying 2 extra points for those two guys. But with your running back depth, especially if you don't need a running back, I don't know if that's much better for you. Berg, honestly, I usually don't. I kind of do it based off of my own feeling, but I kind of want to just pull one up, so I just literally Googled one. I think the first one I came up was CBS. But normally I don't actually use something like that as well. Yeah. Benjamin, what's up, my man? How you doing? Benjamin, are you new here? I don't know that I've seen you before, and if I have, I apologize. What do I feel about Jacobs? I think yeah, William, you can definitely get more. I think Jacobs he's on his way up. He had a pretty decent game this week. I mean, he got, what, 128 yards, right? I want to say off the top of my head. I don't know if that's right or not. But I think, yeah, I think, what is it? Let's see, Raiders, Browns. I mean, that was a bad game, right? That was the weather. Like, no one really performed because of the weather. But he had 31 carries, 128 yards. His matchup is going to be favorable. So, just, you know, keep with him. If you can buy him low, I would. I think he's gonna go up for the rest of the season. So rest of the season, Jacobs or Mixon? Oh, that's tough. That's really tough, man. I feel like Mixon has a little bit higher of an upside, but I would probably rank them both like sort of like lower tier RB1. All right, let me keep on going. So Jonnu, if it seems as if Jonnu targets have died down from what they were, how would you compare them? So I would say, I think it was also a bad game. Like, he had a bad game this week. He just came back healthy. I think he'll be back up there. He was, you know, one of the top tight ends. I would probably say like Jonnu, and then Burton, then Goddard and Fant. That's how I'd rate those, Rosie. William, should I make that trade if I can get Keenan Allen, Jacobs, or Diggs? Keenan Allen or Jacobs, or Diggs and Jacobs? I like that. I like Jacobs a little bit more. Again, like, let's go back to your team. Like, you gotta ask yourself, would you start either one? Like, okay, so I will say, actually, William, if you're gonna do Diggs and Jacobs, I would do that. I'm not as sure about Keenan Allen and Jacobs, but I definitely think I would do Diggs and Jacobs. Jonnu or Hawkinson this week? Let me look at their matchups. Man, we're not even in week 9 yet, and you guys are already asking those questions. Let's see. Jonnu Smith, and hey, honestly, Ben, I might have a better answer for you on Thursday night stream. But looking ahead right now, I've honestly just focused on waiver wire. If we're looking at let's see, who was it? It was, let me look at these matchups. It was Jonnu or Hawkinson. So Titans have, who do the Titans play? Bears, and then Hawkinson plays Vikings. I kind of lean Hawkinson a little bit. So as of now, without having done like a little bit more research into it, I lean Hawkinson. Yeah, so I think they're both still going to be able to do well. I've been urging all of my viewers to grab Corey Davis for about 2 to 3 weeks now. The best time to snag him was when they were on bye going into the next week. People, honestly, all over the internet have just this like really they're so like, the mentality is that like, haha, it's Corey Davis, and like, it is like, people just like don't think he's a good wide receiver, but like, look at his stats this year. He's been doing a lot. He's been performing with or without AJ Brown, and honestly, at the very beginning of the season, he was outperforming AJ Brown. So Corey Davis, if you were able to grab him, like I talked about a few weeks ago, he might be one of the biggest steals in free agency, because he was owned in, I think, like less than 20, even 15% of the leagues. He's still gonna get a lot of looks, and my personal thought is that they're both gonna be able to perform really well, but there's always a chance that Corey Davis might perform better than AJ Brown in some weeks. Tannehill likes to throw to both. They both get a lot of targets, a lot of catches, and they both get red zone opportunity. The Titans, aside from this week, which, I'm glad they lost as a Colts fan, but there's most of the week they're probably going to be putting up 30 plus, and that's going to be involving both AJ Brown and Corey Davis. So whatever narrative is out there that people are like, hey, Corey Davis is a joke, fine. If you don't want Corey Davis, leave him to me, and I'm luckily able to have him in a few leagues of my own. So he's almost an every week start for me, is what I'll say. I like that. I like him a lot. Also, you're right, Burke. With Kenny G out, Hawkinson, yep, and Hawkinson's still going to get a lot of just targets in general. So, I mean, Hawkinson he's going to be a solid start every week because, he has the volume. He has the targets, and he's going to be able to catch it. And, yeah, so I like him a lot. I don't think there's anything wrong with Hawkinson, and almost starting him every single week. Another Parker style breakout. My league is super good. Oh, that's rough. Yeah. What can you do there? I mean, that's just rough. Ty, what's up? Is it me, or does waiver this week feel pretty barren? Oh, for sure. I mean, if you have Corey Davis, you go pick him up right now. For sure, yep. I'm in all mine are 12-man leagues. I actually have a 14 league too, and they're pretty tough. So it was honestly kind of tough to put together some positions this week for the waiver wire video that's dropping tomorrow. Another shameless plug. But I actually, out of all the positions that I remember, I actually like the wide. Every single week, I still think. Here's what I think that what I've seen this season. You're gonna be able to get a lot of wide receivers off the the wide receiver pool, especially in PPR leagues. There's a lot. You can probably pick up the right wide receivers every week from the waiver wire and outscore most people. So wide receivers I still like. There were a few good running backs that I really liked as well. Quarterbacks are a little rough. Tight ends are still okay. So yeah, I definitely felt a little bit of a pinch when I was doing my research this week, but also have a great list for you all, so don't worry about it. Whatever position you need, we're gonna have some for you, so don't worry about it. But yeah, man, talking about, I saw this Vegas and Browns game up, and that was I didn't get to watch it, but I heard the weather was pretty bad, and I mean 16-6. I don't even think Vegas could have predicted that low scoring of a game. I see some missed field goals. I mean, it looks like the Raiders really just ran the ball. I mean, they ran him 31 times. That's crazy. 31 times. That's so much volume for a running back. Yeah, that's rough. Dobbins, Hunt, Moss, Fulgham, and Kirk. I need RB2. Do I try to trade for one or do I stop? This week I would feel okay actually. Well, I don't know that I would start Dobbins. I would maybe start Moss if I were you. Burke says, I was discouraged by seeing targets spread between Mo Alley and Jack Doyle and our hydrated. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. So that's the one thing is Trey Burton isn't likely going to be someone who's going to give you a lot of targets. Actually, let's pull up the stats and see what the exact distribution was. You know, I mean, Mo Alley Cox seems like he's nursing some sort of injury, is what I'll say. So I wouldn't consider him, I wouldn't worry about him too much. So, okay, Mo got 4 targets. Jack Doyle got 3, Trey Burton got 4. So Trey Burton still, you know, had the most out of there. Rivers spread it around a lot, but the biggest thing with Burton is his red zone looks and the way that he's going to use him in the red zone. So he might not have super, you know, fancy and eye-popping yardage numbers, but he will have those touchdowns. You know, like I mentioned, since he's back, he's averaging more than 1 touchdown a game, and he's had 2 rushing touchdowns. So don't be discouraged by the number of receptions and number of yards. You know, hey, if he gets 20 yards, 5 yards running, that's fine. Give me 2 TDs. I'll take that over anything else, especially for a tight end. Alright, my RBs right now are Aaron Jones, Myles Gaskins, Clyde, Devontae Swift, and JT. How could I package some of these guys to maybe... Yeah, so if I were you... So here's the issue. With the games that Swift, JT, and Clyde had this week, it's going to be tough to sell them right now because they're at a they're pretty low. So you're honestly going to have to wait. You could try and package, like... Aaron Jones is obviously your best running back here, so I mean, wait till one of them has another game, especially someone like DeAndre Swift, and then package him. I think once he has a good game, potentially this week against the Vikings, then his value is going to go up pretty high, and I will try and sell him there. Otherwise, even Myles Gaskins, if you had the Aaron Jones, Clyde, and JT core, I would feel pretty good with that. Myles Gaskins, I think he had a pretty solid game this week as well. Nothing like too spectacular, but still pretty decent. I think Gaskin and Swift could be good sell high candidates if one of them has a good week this week, because you definitely don't need 5. Luke, Fournette, Jacobs, and Higgins for Henry. That's a lot to give up for Henry. Remind me what the rest of your lineup is like here, because if you have maybe like 4 running backs, I would say yes. And also sort of what your wide receiver is like as well. Yes, this week's TD, Burke was a rushing TD. They used him in the end zone again. That's 2 TDs in the last 3 games? 2 games? 2 rushing? I don't remember. I'm getting my numbers mixed up, but yeah, it was a rushing TD. You know, like I said in my videos before, hey, you know, they're gonna use him super creatively, and they're gonna use him in the end zone a lot. So they can use him as a wide receiver, you know, do a little play action, use him as a blocker to have him go out, or use him as a running back like we've seen. You know, once might be a fluke, twice I don't think that's a huge fluke. So, yep, exactly, Burke. And that's I think, you know, what we found out about JT this week is that he had a slight ankle injury. So sort of with how the game was going and the fact that Jordan Wilkins and Nyheim Hines were both playing really well, there was no reason for them to risk him. Obviously, there's still a lot of learning that Nyheim Hines, or sorry, not Nyheim Hines, JT still needs to figure out, and he's gonna, you know, his biggest problem right now is his visions, figuring out which hole to hit, which pass to take. But he's gonna get there, and he's still the undisputed, you know, running back 1 there. I think if anything, Hines could be a good person to look at. So you've got Herb, Jacobs, Aaron Jones, A-Rob, Julio, Waller, Edmonds, Eckler, AB, Fournette, Gus. Okay. Okay, so if that was it, because you have Julio, wait, A-Rob, Julio, Waller, Okay, so if that's the case, you might be okay. I don't, and Luke, I'm assuming you're talking about T. Higgins, right? That's the only thing that I'm struggling to give up right now. But like, if you have Aaron Jones, Eckler, and Henry, that's a solid start, or even just a Gio. So you're set at running backs. I would do that. I think I would do that. I mean, that's something that you know, you're giving up some really good solid players, but you're giving him up for, you know, potentially the RB1 or top 3 RB for the rest of the season. So you know, if you can get King Henry, I would do it. Obviously, you're playing you know, a king's ransom, right? But I think I would do that. Burke, I was thinking about doing that as well, but what my feeling is that T. Higgins might be sort of like the wild card that actually might be, you know, the deal breaker. So if he takes T. Higgins out, I wonder if his opponent may not do it. Yeah, and Luke, always start slower, right? You don't like start with a lower ball offer. Try AB. You can even try like a Rieger if you want to. I honestly like T. Higgins. Maybe that's like your second best wide receiver out of that group. So if you can't give up someone else for him, I think you should do it. Even if you give up someone else like Gus Edwards. Hey, maybe your opponent is gonna like Gus and sell him high after this week. You know? Word, what's up? Welcome. You're new here as well, right? Chiefs or Ravens defense? I'm assuming you're talking about week 9. So let's see. We have the Chiefs playing the Panthers, and we have the Ravens playing the Colts. I actually kind of lean... You're going to have to see what Christian McCaffrey's status is. I know a lot of people are going to say Ravens, but I kind of lean Chiefs. But I think we're just going to have to monitor the status of everybody. Also, Marlon Humphreys is out with COVID, so I don't know that I would actually recommend the Ravens this week. Luke, so I like actually... I like T. Higgins' consistency. I think Julio has a higher ceiling, obviously, but I think Julio's going to be more inconsistent with their highs and lows, sort of like the Lockett we were talking about earlier. And A-Rob, he's going to get force-fed a lot, but that's the thing is, like, you know, he's going to get force-fed. It's not always going to work, especially if you're playing a better team that might be covering him. How did A-Rob do this week? Because they played the Saints. Decent matchup. It looks like A-Rob got 7 targets, 6 for 87, 1. So, you know, obviously Julio and A-Rob are both like wide receiver 1s, but I honestly like T. Higgins just for the consistency. Ernest, I don't think you need... I mean, if you can sell him for some... If you can get a good return, I would. But I would honestly say... I think he's gonna... I think Travis is gonna be kind of a stud for the rest of the year. I think since he started 4 weeks ago, he's the wide receiver 1 in fantasy right now. So if you sell him high, is what I'll say. How many points do you see AB getting PPR? So in PPR, I would probably imagine, like, I kind of have him in like the 7 to 14 range right now. I know that's kind of a big range, but yeah. Yeah, I didn't see that, but I'm sure, you know, I mean, that's the thing is he's going to get forced out a lot, right? So I just wish the Bears had some other offensive weapons to be able to help A-Rob a little bit more. What are your thoughts on CEH moving forward and Kareem Hunt? CEH, I want to give up on. Kareem Hunt, I still think he's going to be valuable, but I think he's going to have a little less value once Chubb gets back. And War, let me know, is this your first time in the stream? Because I don't think we've seen you before. For sure, Burke. I think he's gonna be. I think he's gonna be okay. You know, the one thing you can't really take away from AB is really his work ethic, and the fact that he, you know, he's probably in better shape than a lot of wide receivers right now. So I wouldn't put it past him to come in and be able to make a statement. 1 second, guys. Let me adjust the light really quickly. Aiden, what's up? Welcome, welcome. Alright, give me 1 second, guys. I just need to adjust the light a little bit. It's getting a little dark in here. Oops. Let's turn that up and turn this down a little bit. There we go. Nice little warm lighting. Let me know if that's like too yellow. I don't want too yellow of a hue on me. Let me turn this down a little bit. There we go. Maybe do a little... Oh, that's too dark. There we go. Okay. All right, back to it. So where were we? First time word. That's awesome. Thank you. And out of curiosity, how did you find the stream? Ty, would you rather have a volatile RB with the upside like Gibson or more boring and slightly? I think Gibson a little bit more. I mean, if you're saying those two, I'd probably pick Gibson. I'm not a huge fan of David Montgomery. I know his volume's going up, so he'll probably prove me wrong, but I'm just not a huge fan of David Montgomery myself. Aiden. Okay, let's see what we got. Should I trade McCaffrey and Marquise Brown for Ezekiel Killing? So Aiden, do you need wide receivers right now? Because I honestly don't love that for you. If you're trading McCaffrey away, you should be able to get a lot more. You should be getting sort of like an every week starter. I know Allen Robinson is, but like Kenny Galladay's injured. Ezekiel Elliott, he's at an all-time low pretty much right now for his value. So I think you can get a lot more. I think Marquise Brown is actually sort of a buy low candidate now as well. So I would rather keep McCaffrey and Marquise Brown. Yeah. Oh, for sure, yeah. Honestly, I wonder if you can sell Gibson, Ty. I wonder if you can get him for like someone like a Josh Jacobs. If you're not the Jacobs owner, maybe try and feel that out. I kind of like Jacobs more than Gibson for the rest of the season. So if you can get him for someone who's a little bit less, has a little bit less of a variance in their game, I would prefer that myself. Nice. Perfect, well, wait, welcome. And you know, we do these streams a lot, so hope to continue to see you here. So question on tight ends, Goddard or Fant? Ooh. I still like Goddard's upside a little bit more than Fant because I like that offense a little bit more. So I would go Goddard and Fant. And sorry, man, RAP's in the chat for all our Kittle owners. That's rough. You know, he's done for the season, so. And hey, so yeah, I would go Goddard, but hey, we're big Trey Burton fans here. But yeah, look out for the video that's coming out tomorrow. It should be coming out tomorrow morning. I have a list of waiver wire pickups for every position, and that also includes our tight end friends. So keep an eye out there and see what you think, and you know, just sort of assess it and see who you actually have available. Had to snatch him and keep him away for others' bench. Too good to be true. Here's hoping we get ourselves some wire. Yep, I think so, guys. I mean, with AB, like I understand, you know, again, the narrative behind him, but I really do think he's gonna be able to give you a solid floor. Godwin, I can't really trust to stay healthy. We'll see what that. I mean, I know it's really just that finger surgery, but we'll see what happens with that. And you know, with Evans, I mean, here's what I'll say. There's a reason that AB has been living with Tom Brady all this time, right? He's been living with him. I'm sure they have a lot of, you know, they have a good connection between those two right now. And I really think that, you know, if you were able to grab him, he could like really just be a solid guy for you to start, like a wide receiver 2 minimum for the rest of the season. I grabbed him in every league I was in, so maybe I'm just being hopeful, but yeah. Yeah, welcome, Morgan. Thank you, Burke. I mean, half of you know half of this content is people like you, Burke, and everyone else in here. So keep the conversations up. Jack says, how do you feel about this trade? I give Robinson, Taylor, and Robbie Anderson for Aaron Jones and Allen Robinson. Okay, so we're giving James Robinson, Jonathan Taylor, and Robbie Anderson for Aaron Jones. I don't know if I love that, Jack. I think the difference between Allen Robinson and Robbie Anderson is like not as much as you. I mean, the biggest thing I'm getting stuck on is the Robinson versus Aaron Jones. I still have faith on Jonathan Taylor, so I think you're sort of giving away an RB1 and a RB2 plus like a, so RB1, RB2 for like an RB1, which, you know, I would rather have 2 guys for depth. And Robbie Anderson, Allen Robinson is sort of like a high side wide receiver 2 for a wide receiver 1. So, that's a tough one. Jack, what's the rest of your wide receiver looking like? Yep, exactly, Berg. I agree with that. You're paying JT and Anderson for A-Rob, and yeah. So a lot of it depends on your wide receiver depth as well, but I think you're paying a little bit too much, Jack, for it. Ty, no problem at all. We'll try and trade him for Jacobs. Currently have Kamara and Sanderson rubbing it back. Yep. Yeah, for sure. And the reason I say that too is, you know, Gibson had, what, 1-2 really good games. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's still going to be the Washington football team, and I think they're going to be playing back a lot. So I think McKissick is honestly going to get involved a lot more too. Gibson, you know, he still has a lot of opportunities to just get, you know, 15 to 20 touches a week. But I like Jacobs a little bit more because I think he's going to get the same amount of volume plus some. And he's on an offense that I trust a lot more. So I prefer Josh Jacobs. You know, Gibson will probably do fine for the rest of the season, but I'd be interested to see if you could maybe get someone like a Jacobs for Gibson, because I think Gibson is at a good sell high point right now, and Jacobs is still sort of like slowly trending upwards, but still kind of buy low. Richard, what's up, man? How you doing? Yes, I am, Richard. So this is sort of like an off-schedule stream, but the editing is being finalized tonight for the waiver wire video, and it will come out tomorrow morning. So, you know, keep those notifications, you know, however you guys get notifications from me. It will probably come out tomorrow morning around like 9 to 10 a.m. Pacific. So more than enough time for you guys to look at it, you know, figure out what you need, make a, you know, look at the list and everything, and make a decision by tomorrow night. And we'll also be streaming tomorrow night to talk about waiver wire specifically. So, yep, the video will be coming up tomorrow. Devontae and Boyd also have Carson. Yeah, again, I think at the end of the day, Jack, it sounds like it feels a little bit expensive for my taste. You know, because I don't think you're necessarily agreeing that much. And, you know, James Robinson might end up as a better back than Aaron Jones at the end of the year. And, you know, it might not be the game per game played average. It might just be that he's a lot more healthy and he plays a lot more games than Aaron Jones, which is also a factor. So I think you're giving up a little bit too much for those two guys. Luke, what's up? Is Josh Jacobs for Kenny Golladay and Miles Sanders good? I need a good receiver. I don't mind that trade, but if I were you, I would monitor Kenny Galladay's status, because he might be out for I don't know how long he's gonna be out for. Hopefully just 1 or 2 weeks, but it would be kind of a bummer for you to trade Josh Jacobs away now, when you like to get 2 guys back that might not be playing for the next 2 weeks. And, you know, depending on your record right now, the next 2 weeks could be very, very valuable. So I would monitor their injury. If they're both healthy, if they're all healthy, I would maybe say yes. Den, what's up? Hope you're having a good night, my man. If the are out. No, so Den, I don't think Kittle's going to be coming back for at least for fantasy purposes this year, unless your league does way longer regular season or playoffs. So yeah, look for the video tomorrow. I will have a full list of tight ends that I think are good pickups, especially for the for Kittle owners. So look out for that. I think there are some good ones out there that we can pick up right now. So yeah, take a look at that when that comes out, and we can, you know, if you're able to join tomorrow, then yeah, we can talk a little bit more about our best options here. Clinical, my main mod. Welcome. So my wide receivers are AJ Brown, A-Rob, and McLaurin. I managed to pick up AB. Should I start them over any of them? I don't think you need to. I don't think, you know, without looking at the matchups right now, because like I said earlier, I haven't gotten to the start and sits part of my research yet. But if you have those 3 wide receivers, they're solid. I don't think you need to risk. Just keep AB on the bench and see how he does. Oh no, Ty, you're a 49ers fan, man. Yeah, I don't think he will. I mean, he's out 8 weeks, right? 8 weeks puts us in week what is it, 16 or 17, right? So there's a chance he might come back for your fantasy championships, but I mean, there's a lot that's going to happen between now and any of us potentially get into our championships. So I mean, if you really have a solid team and you can stash them, sure, but you know, that 8 weeks might turn into 10 weeks, which might turn into the rest of the season, especially if the 49ers aren't really in playoff contention. So I think he's a drop, unfortunately. Ernest, wide receivers right now are Ridley, Galladay, Fulgham. Do you think I need to upgrade? And if so, who should I target? You're gonna need a third wide receiver right now. That's a little hard to say. Are you talking, Ernest? Are you speaking specifically about free agency, or are you talking about like trade targets? Jack Anderson. So everyone's gonna tell you to sit him, right? And I'm sorry, I don't remember your. Can you post me? So you okay? So you have Robinson, Taylor. So I know you have Robinson, Taylor. Can you post in the chat the rest of your guys? Because Carson might still be injured. So who else do you have for options for running backs? Amar, what's up, man? Should I trade JT and Edmonds for Lamar and A-Rob? Yeah, I mean, Amar, how are you doing with the rest of your running backs? Because you're giving away 2 guys that you could be using on a weekly basis. You know, obviously for a great quarterback and wide receiver, but it depends on your running back depth and if you actually have any running backs to start after you give up those 2 guys. Andrew, what's up, my man? Thank you. I appreciate that. And I, you know, definitely appreciate, you know, you coming into the videos and the stream. So, yeah. Let's see. Wait, why do I recognize your name? I feel like I recognize your name from something. Oh man, yeah, Andrew, you're I know you're kind of a big deal in the fantasy world, right? I've been to your channel a few times, and I really I like your stuff a lot. Yeah, I'm actually looking at your videos right now, and I have quite a few of your videos watched. So, hey man, cheers! Thanks for coming to the stream. You know, 32.8, 33K subscribers is a lot. So congrats on that, and hopefully someday I'll be at a fraction of where you're at. But yeah, man, I know I'm a pretty small streamer right now. Maybe one day, once I get a little bit more traction, I'll be worthy to do a collab with you. But yeah, keep up the good work, and thank you so much for stopping by. That definitely means a lot. Yeah, that's crazy, guys. I was like, wait, I know there's been a few Andrews that's been commenting on my videos, but I was like, this Andrew looks really familiar, and like with a teeny tiny profile picture that I can see right now, that looks, you know, I feel like I recognize that, but that's crazy. Shout out to Andrew and his channel and all the great work he does. Trade targets, Ernest. Yeah, so it's gonna be hard. You're gonna have to give up some. I mean, you could probably ride with that if you feel okay with your running backs, and if you can maybe just do a flex. So I would say honestly, it's tough, right? It's really tough to say who you can target. Like if you can target someone like I don't know if Corey Davis is even on the waiver wire, but like Corey Davis, AJ Brown could help you a lot. Once Galladay's back and is healthy, I actually like your core. I'm pretty high on Fulgham. I think he's going to be a stud for the rest of the season. But yeah, I mean, I think you're okay right now, unless you know you have like an excess of running backs that you can maybe trade a Fulgham with to get someone like, I don't know, DK is gonna be hard to get because you're gonna have to trade one of your guys plus like an RB1 probably. So it's a little hard to say. I think you're okay right now, unless you feel like, what's your record right now, Ernest? I have Elliott. I've been stressing out because I got 2 straight losses in my RBs. My RBs are Elliott, Montgomery, Mike Davis, Miles Sanders. And you're 5-3. You're still sitting okay, right? So yeah, I think you're okay. The running backs are a little weak, right? Because Elliott and Montgomery, they're kind of low right now. Mike Davis is not going to be relevant, and Miles Sanders. So, you know, keep an eye out for the video tomorrow. I would say maybe try and pick up some more guys. I think the biggest question mark is what's Mike Davis's role going to be once CMC gets back, you know? But honestly, I feel like as a Mike Davis owner myself, he's been a little underwhelming the last few weeks. So I do agree. I think, you know, unfortunately, those guys are a little bit sell low. Unless you can try and sell Montgomery right now, the volume's there. I think he's slowly trending up potentially, but I'm just not a huge fan of him. Ty, I know, right? Andrew, that's Ty and Richard. That's both crazy. Yeah, it's crazy that he stopped by. So that's awesome. You have DJ Dallas as well. So DJ, I think he's gonna be I think he's gonna be a 1 to 2 week rental, unfortunately, max. The problem is once Carson or Carlos Hyde gets back, he's not gonna be super relevant. So I would just play him while you can at this moment, honestly. You know, he's going to be involved in both the running game and the wide receiver game, and the passing game. So that's going to be great. Otherwise, yeah, that's, yeah. For sure. So yeah, sorry guys, we kind of got way too into the questions that we didn't really talk about a recap. I think what could be kind of fun is I would like to sort of pull up my last video about starts and sits and kind of just like, you know, either give myself a little pat on the back and you know, or roast myself a little bit. So I'm not gonna go through every person, but I'm kind of curious. I kind of wanted to look at my starts of the week and starts and sit of the week, and let's see if I was right or not. And hey, you know, I feel like I'm human too, so I don't mind at all if I have to say, you know, if I was right or wrong. So let me pull this up really quickly. YouTube, pull up my own channel. Let's see, give me 1 second. Man, I actually don't have no idea how to find my own stream, or sorry, my own videos. So, let's see. Okay, so anyways, let's look at this right now. Let me know if this content is boring, but I just figured this is kind of cool to see. All right, so I have my video pulled up. Let's start with the quarterbacks. So I said my start of the week was Ryan Tannehill, and my sit of the week was Cam Newton, right? So if we're just gonna look at fantasy football. Cam, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Good to see you here, my man. All right, so so we're gonna talk about the QB starts, and this is I'm looking at ESPN, just half PPR. I mean, doesn't matter, I guess, unless you have a quarterback that likes to do the Philly special. But yeah, we're gonna look at the QBs for this week. I feel like I was pretty wrong on Ryan Tannehill, right? But I still feel like I can defend myself from what I said him as the start of the week against Cincinnati. He scored 17 points, which isn't bad, right? Like, any other quarterback, if like his low is 17 points, like that's pretty decent. I don't think he was really worth a start of the week status. But that was a weird game. Like, anyone who watched that game, they lost, first of all, and it was against the Bengals, who don't have a good defense. If we look at the start, let's see, and okay, so then the start of the week I kind of missed on. Sit of the week was Cam Newton. He got 18 points, so that's not a great look. And I think one of them came through a rushing TD, so I mean, I guess I'll take it, right? You win some, you lose some. Best start of the week last week, who isn't like a top tier, was actually Matt Stafford and Phillip Rivers. You had Mahomes, Wilson, and Rodgers as your top three, who, you know, I probably will never actually say like start those guys because those are very obvious in my starts and sits. I want to talk about guys who, you know, aren't actually like, you know, every week starts. So didn't do very well there. Let's look at our start of the week for running back and sit of the week. So start of the week for running back, I had Giovanni Bernard. And from what I remember, I kind of liked that, right? So actually, guys, hey, we did pretty well on that. Besides Dalvin Cook's monstrous 47-point performance, which again, Dalvin Cook is never someone that I'm going to tell you guys to start because you're going to start him if you have him. Giovanni Bernard was actually the top scoring fantasy running back for half PPR. So, yo, we hit that. We hit that really well. He beat out Alvin Kamara and DJ Dallas. So I feel very, very good about that. For sit of the week, we won David Montgomery. And David Montgomery only got you 11.5 points in half PPR. Obviously, a lot of other players did worse. So, you know, some notable names: Todd Gurley, Boston Scott, Kareem Hunt. But like, hey, I feel good about that. I feel like David Montgomery is on a lot of people's, you know, minds as someone who should be almost like a start, essentially, against the Saints. So I feel good. You know, if you're a running back one, drafted probably in like what, the top three rounds, you know, I feel good about that. So 11.5 points for David Montgomery, which is okay, but I don't think it's, you know, like I've been telling people, I'm not a huge fan of him. Okay, wide receivers. I said start of the week is Brandon Ayuk, and sit of the week is Darius Slayton. So let's go to wide receivers. And I think wide receivers, honestly, they're going to have the biggest variance, right? So where are we finding he's going to run over the hay? Maybe, right? He could very well do. Oh, Timothy, what's up, my man? New viewer in chat. Michael Thomas. So here's the thing I'll say about Michael Thomas. I think there's a lot more to his situation than just the actual injury. I think there's a lot of drama going on, and it wouldn't surprise me. I made a bold statement in my stream last week that I said I wouldn't be surprised if he got traded by the trade deadline this week. Trade deadline is this week, right? NFL trade deadline. What time is the NFL? It's NFL is 4 p.m. on Tuesday. So I wouldn't be surprised if he got traded. But I think there's a lot to it. So I think there's a big, yep, exactly. So I think there's a big question mark with MT. I think if it's injury concerned, he should be back this week. But I just still think there's a lot of drama going out, and maybe he holds out for the rest of the year. Wouldn't surprise me. So going back to it, so we said start of the week is Brandon Ayuk, and it looks like he finished. Yeah, so he finished with 19.1 points, which I think is great. He was, out of all the wide receivers, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He was the seventh highest scoring wide receiver, which for someone like Brandon Ayuk, who probably went undrafted, I feel very good about having him as my start of the week. Yeah, let's go, baby. We're getting those people in. 15 is a lot, hey, especially with people like Andrew with Fantasy Flock, you know, them probably maybe going live right now. 15 is more than I can ask for, so I appreciate you all. But anyway, so I love my Brandon Ayuk pick. I think we hit it on the spot there. Only wide receivers who are not super popular who scored more are Curtis Samuel, Corey Davis. Ooh, I got a little pop-up. Someone just subscribed. Timothy, thank you so much. Should I trade Thomas? If you can get a lot for him, but honestly, at this point, Timothy, if you, honestly, you've held him for so long, I'm assuming you drafted him, just hold on to him. If you trade him and can get him for like Michael Thomas value, trade him, right? But unless, you know, you're playing in not as competitive a league, I think people are gonna try to be lowballing you a lot for Thomas. So unless you can get a great return, someone that's like a wide receiver or running back first round pick value, just keep him at this point. Yeah, that's what they all say, right? But if you think about it, if you were the boss and, you know, you have to talk to the public, what would you say? Would you actually say, oh yeah, we're actively trying to trade our star wide receiver? You know, first of all, that's going to create drama within the team. That's going to stir up a lot of stuff with your fan base. So coaches are always going to say what sounds the best. Oh, you traded for him? Okay, so at that point, like, you gave up stuff for him. Like, unless you can get high value for him, you're just hold on to him. Bite the bullet, like Burke said, hold on to him. He should be back in the next week or two, barring like a holdout. So yeah. But anyways, I'm gonna clap myself for the Brandon Ayuk pick. And who do we say? We say Darius Slayton sit, right? Darius Slayton only got you 8.1 points. They were fighting to come back a little bit. And he actually got a decent amount of receptions, but hey, I liked it. I wouldn't feel comfortable telling you guys to start someone who I thought was gonna get 8.1, and honestly, 8.1 was a little bit more than I thought he was gonna get. So Yeah, I think I feel okay about him as my sit of the week as well. Let's go to tight end starts of the week. And, you know, obviously we're going to talk about our boy Trey Burton here, right? So Trey Burton scored 8.6 points, which, you know, I don't think it's a lot. I don't think he probably warranted the start of the week status, but I think that's actually pretty solid for a tight end. So I feel okay with that. Let's see, who are my starting running backs this week? If you had to start this week, I would go probably Zeke. I mean, you have to go Zeke and Montgomery, right? See if CMC actually comes back. Otherwise, I mean, Miles Sanders isn't back, so you're pretty limited to you're forced to start Elliott, Montgomery, and Mike Davis or someone else at flex, pretty much. Exactly. Can't ever trust what I type. Yeah. So 8.6 solid for a TD. Solid for a tight end. Start of the week material would probably be someone like, I mean, who's going to say Taysom Hill, right? Jared Cook could probably go into that category, but it went Kelsey, Cook, Hill, Ebron, Gronk, Tanya, and Hawkinson, Evan, then the two tight ends. So I don't think I hit there, but I think I called that pretty decently. Sit of the week, that was bad on me. Eric Ebron, he ended up getting a TD, which I think saved him. Otherwise, 4 receptions for 48 yards. That TD gave him an extra 6 points, right? So, and that's the one thing I said about him is that, like, I feel like Ebron's floor has been sort of steadily getting, like, his floor has been getting a little bit lower, right? He doesn't get too many receptions, and there's a lot of mouths to feed. So, you know, he got the TD, great, and, like, you know, fine, prove me wrong, but he's only gotten 2 TDs on the year over seven games so far. And if he didn't get the touchdown, he would have gotten in half PPR. What's that? That's 6.8 points. So that's still solid, but against the Baltimore defense, again, I guess I should have, listened to my own advice. If it's a divisional game, then anything can happen. I still don't love his floor that much. And I think he's a little bit more boom and bust where he just doesn't, like, 2 TDs over 7 games is not something that I trust that much. All right, let's look away a few things. Traded away Hunter Henry last week and he got in 7. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Hunter Henry has not, I mean, that's surprising, especially in that offense. I was surprised by that. Timothy says, I have Jonnu Smith and Hawkinson. Who should I trade? If you had to trade one of them, I would probably trade Jonnu Smith. I like Hawkinson's floor a little bit better. Graham, thank you for the subscription. I appreciate that. I kind of like Hawkinson a little bit better because I think he's going to be the primary target on that team versus on the Titans you have A.J. Brown and Corey Davis that you're going to have to worry about, plus Derrick Henry, who's going to be their primary offensive weapon. Thoughts on Goddard? I think, it was a rough week this week with just the one target, but I think he's gonna get the volume in the future. So I think it was just honestly a bad game, and maybe he wasn't 100% healthy, that they didn't want to use him that much. So I think he's trending up. Burke, Taysom is a bane of, yep, third down, let's take it off. Exactly. And that's the thing, right? I actually drafted Taysom Hill as like a stash and like with one of my very last picks because for someone who's literally, like he plays every single position, if you can plug him in at the tight end, then like, great, that's awesome, right? But like, I don't know. He was at least fun to play with in Madden, to mess around with, and because there was actually, I don't know if anyone here, if you play Madden, let me know in chat. But he actually there was a specific package called the Taysom Hill package that people would cheese off of with like Lamar Jackson and like Mahomes, and it was stupid to play against. But yeah, Madden recognized Taysom Hill last year because he had a few good weeks, and they made some plays around him, so that was kind of cool. Rickety, who should I try to trade by giving Siege? I would probably get another RB. I could package him with someone like... honestly, Rickety, I don't think you're going to get a lot of value out of him right now because he has not had a lot of touches. And the Jets, the Chiefs have been going up so fast that they haven't needed to use him. I don't know that you can actually get a lot for him right now. If you could, I would trade like a CEH, like Clyde and Robbie for like... I don't know. It's tough. I mean, like, you could try for someone like maybe Josh Jacobs, maybe Nick Chubb, but I don't think you're going to be able to get them, right? You want someone who can really you can really like start every week without concerns about their team going up a lot or anything else. I just don't know that you're going to be able to get a lot of value back from right now, unfortunately. Especially for us Kamara owners, you can always, yep, exactly, for sure. Don't use value high with the actual difference to use not much, so capitalize on selling it higher. Yep, I agree with that, Burke, for sure. And like I said, like I think Jonnu's still gonna be a solid quarterback, but solid tight end. I just think Hawkinson's gonna get a lot more looks his way, and that's the only reason I value him a little bit higher. Is Taylor sit next week? I don't think so necessarily. Remind me who the rest of your running backs are, Ernest. But like, I think honestly, 95% of the experts out there are gonna say Taylor is a sit, but I really don't know that he is gonna be. You know, I think, yeah, I'm gonna do my research a little bit, but I think he might be one of the surprises of next week. Burke, it's actually on PC. I know that's like the unpopular one, but I did play it on PC last year. I was actually in a couple of leagues, and that was really fun. Ended the season with a Super Bowl win, and got a little actually Xbox controller as a prize. So that was really nice. We grinded all year, and we ended and retired as Super Bowl champs. Interesting take I've heard was a lateral trade CH from Montgomery. Neither owner wants to play him. Oh, for sure. I think that's solid. And at this point, a lot of people will probably value Montgomery more, but people might like the CH upside a little bit more. So that could be something to do. Need a solid QB. Should I take an offer on Sam? Ooh. You need a solid. Sam, who are the rest of your running backs? That may not actually be a bad one for you. Titter, what's up, man? It's been a minute since our late night stream on Saturday, huh? So you have both the Bucks and Ravens, D. Do I drop one of them, or what should I do? Honestly, hold. You might be able to play them, like kind of stream based off of, because both of those are top 3 defenses. I have the Colts, the Bucks, and the Ravens as the top defenses rest of the season. You might be able to sort of switch and like stream between those two and be set, and not have to worry about it. So I wouldn't drop. If anything, try and trade for like maybe a depth player or something, but you could just hold on to them and try and do a little swap based on sort of what their matchup is like each week. But welcome back, man. Don't know if you have any drinks in hand tonight. I know we were, a few of us were having some beverages Saturday night. Oh, nice taking from a Super Bowl. Oh, I mean, honestly, Madden is I would put very little value when I say I ended as a Super Bowl champ. Oh, for sure. PC Master Race 100%. I do have an Xbox as well, so console is definitely Xbox, but I primarily do PC. Timothy, is Fournette a low RB2 or flex? If I could get someone like JT, I like JT a little bit better than Fournette, just because of the Rojo factor. I think Fournette, I'm still kind of curious to see, right? I think it's more like he's been getting the opportunities the last 2 weeks because Rojo has really been messing up. Like we talked a little bit earlier, he fumbled and he was in Arians' doghouse. The problem with Fournette is I think he's more of like, he'll get the opportunities if Rojo messes up, right? So between the two, I kind of like JT a little bit better. Do you think Myles Gaskin is a good start next week? I do think so. I think he's going to be a solid start every week with that probably, like 10, 11 point floor. So I think it's completely fine. Tara, thank you so much. And hey, we're going to have to do more involved, late night streams on the weekends that involve those beverages. Maybe we can do like a little, I was having something, I had some stuff ahead of time, and I was just drinking water during it. But we talked about it in one of the earlier streams that we might want to do a beer stream or a drinking stream. So I would love to plan that ahead and do it. Maybe we'll do one for right before the playoffs, right? We can either be celebrating for all of us that made it to the playoffs, or drinking because we didn't, and have a chance of being the taco of the league. Rickety, do you think Stafford and Cameron are a good role? I never liked Stafford. I think he has an okay I don't like Stafford as a fantasy quarterback that much. I always feel like he's He never has a high ceiling. He's always going to be like between like 12 and like 18, 19 points. What did he do last week? Let's see. He did okay, right? He scored 22. But a lot of that came at the very end when they were just like down by 20 and he was just chugging it. And I think the defense softened up on it a little bit, at least from what I saw. But otherwise, like, I mean, besides that, he's only scored over 20 points once this year. So I don't love Stafford that much. Cam, I don't think we need to give up on yet, but his value only comes when he is able to sort of punch it in for a running back, as a running back in the end zone. So just from what we've seen over the last few weeks, like, yeah, sure, he redeemed himself this week, but I don't know that I would trust him week to week, honestly. Swift, Montgomery, Fournette, Eckler, okay. Gotcha. So you'd be trading Sam, who's your current quarterback, Sam? Rookie says, sorry. So Rookie says, what do you think of my RB situation? CH, Swift, Edmonds, Gaskin, Jamal, what could drop? I think it's okay. I think it could be a little bit stronger because a lot of these guys are sort of like the second string. I think it'll probably hold you over, but I think it definitely it's a little bit weak, especially with sort of what's going on with the Chiefs right now. Taylor, gonna be 5-3 after this week. Hope they can swing playoffs. Everyone in my league is pretty much committed for playoffs. Nice, for sure. That's awesome to hear. Johnny, welcome. Another rip in the chat for another kiddo owner. So Johnny, I have a full list coming out tomorrow morning from a waiver wire pickup. So I would say probably, you know, just look out for that tomorrow morning. I'll have a list and then come through tomorrow night during the waiver wire stream and, you know, ask more questions or see if you have it. But yeah, just kind of assess who's there. But I'll have a full list for y'all tomorrow for sure. So you have Wentz on bye. I like Herbert. I mean, I actually don't mind if you do make the trade. So I would say, I just don't love that you're giving up Clyde, honestly. That's the biggest thing. Because after Clyde, you have Swift, who's going to be okay. David Montgomery, which I said I don't love. Fournette. Like, I still think Clyde and Eckler are going to be your best running back. So I don't know if I love that, honestly. Johnny, so Jordan Reed's going to be a good pickup. I think Burton's going to be better for you long term because I don't think Jordan Reed's going to last more than like 3 games, to be honest. Like, you can never really predict injuries, but he's so injury prone that I don't think he's going to last a season. Timothy, oh damn, okay. Hey, I mean, if Thomas comes back, you made a good trade, so I'm hopeful that he comes back in the next week or 2. Titter, is Damian Harrison? Yes, Harris. I believe I have him on my list. I need to double check, but I do think he's a solid pickup for this. I don't love him, especially with the, like, I think he's a talented running back. I don't love that. I don't love his situation is what I'll say. So, if you need someone to play, I think that's okay. Right, so how did I do? So let's look through this. So in one league, it was tough. I played against Devontae Adams and I lost by 5 points. It was rough because this is the league that I forgot to check. It's one that I don't actually focus as much on. And I could have, like, I was looking for DJ Dallas in all my leagues, like in a half an hour before, just to plug and play. If I would have played DJ instead of Le'Veon, I would have won it. But yeah, I lost by 5 points, even though I played against Dalvin. So, you know, you take that loss. Another league, I won pretty handily. In my third league, I lost. I honestly, this week was rough for me. I had to start a few wide receivers from, actually all my wide receivers from the waiver wire. Brandon Ayuk, Rashard Higgins, and Scotty Miller. I have Joe Mixon, James Robinson, and a couple people on bye. So with Mike Davis and Clyde not really performing this week, it was tough for me in that league. Do you think Aaron Jones will come back on Thursday? Let's see what his latest status is. Wait. Packers running. Oh, it sounds like Aaron Jones might not be playing because he might have COVID, huh? So if he has COVID, then man, I don't know if that's gonna happen. Mike, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Glad to see you here. DJ was tweaking so hard. Exactly, and that's rough. And that's the thing is, I looked at my 2 competitive leagues, and like DJ was gone, so I think because of that, I just like forgot to look at my 3rd league. But you know, what can you do? Jamal Williams. Okay, I don't. Is Aaron Jones on the COVID list too? I see a clickbaity one, but it looks like I have to pay to get into it, which I'm not gonna do. Yeah, it won't let me read it, so yeah, I'm not sure. I wonder if Aaron Jones was in contact as well. I think Mel Sandler because he had 14. Yeah, that Raiders and Browns game was just tough. I mean, I think no one was expecting that, so we just kind of have to throw it out as like a fluke, which unfortunately. Oh, Burke, maybe then. Yeah, so we'll see how his injury is back. What happens with his injury. But yeah, I guess I'm not sure. It seemed like a quick game, so I'm not sure if that's gonna happen. Most likely, yeah. I think Ty, that's a good point too. Pretty sure my receiver corpse is what's gonna get me to the playoffs. Kenny Allen, Will Fuller, Adrian, but man, that's good. Zeke will turn it around. I have faith. He should at least be able to give you like a solid, like low floor, like 6 or 7 points, hopefully. So. Yeah, that's great. And in one of my leagues, the one that I lost by 5 points, even though I played against Dalvin, I love my wide receiver core too. Like, it sucks that I've been playing some like unlucky like teams I've gone off, but I have Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs, Travis Fulgham, Chase Claypool, Corey Davis, and Antonio Brown. Those are my wide receivers, and that's a 14-man league. So I love my wide receiver core there. Running backs are okay. Josh Jacobs, Josh Jacobs, David Johnson, Le'Veon Bell, Devontae Freeman. So not the top, but for a 14-man league, I think that's okay. So I need to figure it out. Oh man, so we have so many Kittle owners. Yeah, I mean, at least that sucks, Mike, but at least you're not the only one. Do you think offering? Oh, let's see. So rest of the season, Kittle off Reese Ridley for a couple weeks. Yep. 6-2. That's not bad. You should be able to at least hold yourself over, Mike, until until the playoffs. Because I just traded for Aaron Jones. Do you think offering Slayton? I don't think that's a bad idea at all, Burke. If you have I don't love Slayton moving forward. I think he has somewhat of a lower ceiling. So if you're okay at wide receiver and you don't need to start Slayton, I think that's a great idea, honestly. Yeah, Twitter, that's really good. And I honestly should pay attention more. It's crazy because I'm going to be 3-5 in this league, but I think I have the second most points for. So it's tough, but we'll turn it around. I at least don't feel hopeless. Like, my record might make it feel a little hopeless, but I feel okay because I feel really good about the wide receivers. Like, those are the guys I feel like are actually gonna do me really well week to week. So yeah, I think it's good. Might be back after. Yeah, I don't know that his injury is gonna be that big, but we'll see. We never know. All right, so I think I caught up there. So anyways, where were we? So kickers. Let's see how we did with kickers. I know probably people don't care about it, but my starting kicker of the week was Mason Crosby, which damn, he did not. What happened to Mason Crosby? Back injury in camp, but he was only caught up. Oh, yeah, that's what it was. They're down. Okay, so that missed on the kickers. Sit of the week was Graham Gano. And okay, so sit of the week was actually okay. He only got 5 points, but yeah, I guess. See, okay, this is what I always say. Like, we always have to, whenever we're thinking about fantasy and we look at the stats. And I don't have the stats behind this particular stat, so I'm just going by what my gut feeling is, and this might be super biased, but I think whenever you go into a divisional game, you have to throw everything out the window. Like, anything can happen and nothing can happen. So yeah, I mean, my pick was Mason Crosby because the Vikings they gave up the most fantasy points to kickers this season, and I kind of expected the Packers to sort of get up early and have to kick a lot of extra field goals instead of PATs. Yeah, I guess we missed on that, but we're okay on Graham Gano. The White Chocolate 18 Tyreek Hill for Michael Thomas. Welcome, White Chocolate 18. I would not do that because we don't really know what's happening with Michael Thomas and whether or not, honestly, whether or not he's gonna play. Ideally, he's probably back in a week or two, but you have a wide receiver on a way better offense with the Chiefs. So I would keep me personally, I would keep Tyreek Hill over Michael Thomas for sure. Let's go, Johnny. That a boy. Metcalf and Cooks. Man, that's rough. Those two guys are gonna do really, really well. Titter time. I had very little research going to the fantasy and pretty much never do preseason research. When do you usually start looking at players and creating a big board for yourself? Yep. So I typically like to do it, in a normal year, not 2020. I will browse, subreddits, articles and stuff, maybe starting in like June and July, but like not do things very seriously. I pick up the sim a little bit, I like to watch the draft and look at, what teams picked what, and kind of get in the minds of the GMs and the coaches to figure out, okay, why did they do this? And, is this rookie someone that's going to be immediate plug and play or not? So a little bit of analysis there. I start looking at things right before preseason and start making sort of like a preliminary list, have some thoughts about who I like, who I don't like, and then I start, watching it a little bit in preseason. But honestly, it's so tough because normally preseason, it will tell you a lot of good information, right? About sort of what teams are looking for, who they're trying to get more playing time for, how how people look, who passes eye tests and whatnot. But honestly, the biggest thing, and this is kind of morbid to say, but who gets injured and is out. Because every single year we'll have star players that get injured in the preseason. So really between like weeks 3 and 4, that's when things really pick up. Because if a really big player gets injured, we have to say, okay, well, this guy should have been going in the the top 3 rounds. Who's going to replace him? What's that offense going to look like, and stuff like that. So the bulk of the last minute, let's figure things out, get our big board up, get our list up, happens week 3 and week 4. It was definitely tough this year, I'll say that. It was tough to do research, and it was because we couldn't see what was happening with teams, right? And with the whole COVID stuff happening, we didn't really know what was going on. So that was definitely rough, and made things a little bit tougher. So I think this year especially was a lot more guessing games. Mike, what should I pick up? I got Hurst, Ebron, Ingram, Gesicki. So out of those, I would go Burton, Hurst, Ebron / Ingram, then Gesicki. I had some high hopes for. Well, actually, sorry. Let's say this again. Let's reverse that. I say Burton, Hurst. Then I'm actually going to go Gesicki, if you really need to, and then Ingram / Ebron. We sort of know already what Ebron and Ingram was, and Gesicki, he's someone that I said, let's keep an eye out for once Tua plays. Obviously, he didn't have a good game this week, but the other thing is, they didn't really need Tua this much this week, right? Their defense just went off, so they didn't really need him. So I still think Gesicki is a good stash, but yeah, that's how I would go, Mike. Burke, I know, yep. I talk about Trey Burton way too much, and I'm glad you hopped on the train, Hopefully you stay with me on that. But hey, if he's going to continue to, be our RB1 or RB2, I'll take it, right? Ty, kickers have so much variance in terms... Exactly. Kickers are so hard. Honestly, I felt a little bit stupid. It was hard to predict this week, and I just kind of took I kind of cheated and took the route of what team gave up the most points to fantasy kickers. But I honestly, especially in the kicker realm, I don't take it. So kickers are probably going to be one of my most inaccurate sections, and I think, like you said, it's hard to predict. Sam, who do I submit my waiver priority for? I need 2 wide receivers: Christian Kirk, Sterling Sherman, Brandon. Ooh. I go Brandon Cooks, Christian Kirk, Deontay, and then Shepard. You can maybe switch Christian Kirk and Deontay, but I mean Brandon Cooks has been playing at a wide receiver 1 level for a decent few games, so get him while he's so healthy. I know, right? If only, Rivers, he loves his tight ends, right? And honestly, as a sneak peek, I talk about Jack Doyle as a potential pickup too. I'm pretty sure Doyle has had, 2 TDs in 2 weeks as well? He's still going to use Doyle a lot. Let's see, Doyle, he scored, he's had 2 TDs in 2 weeks, so he definitely loves the tight ends. What Ruby is best waiver wire pickup? Johnny, that really depends on who you guys have, and honestly, you have another day. Waivers aren't this morning. It's gonna be like 26 hours from, I guess, yeah, like almost 24 hours, but like probably like 28 hours from now. So look at my list tomorrow, Johnny, because it's hard to say without knowing who is on your list. But look at my list tomorrow and just see who's there. Mike, for sure. Yeah, definitely. I'm telling everybody, so I hope he keeps on scoring TDs. I don't want to see him like be so wrong after just pushing him for so long. But hey, at least right now for a tight end, I think he has been solid output for us, right? Like what is it? 20 points against Cincinnati, 8.5 points against Detroit. So yeah, I like him. We'll see how he does in the Baltimore game next week. Yep, then gotta see what happens. I used to love Cooks. Sucks how, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I know, right? And like Cooks is always, he was always a little bit more than a boomer bust. But I mean, let's look at Brandin Cooks. Brandin Cooks. Let's see. Let's go to teams. Houston. He's been not bad, I mean, was it Jacksonville? He had 26 points. Tennessee had 17. Green Bay, he had 9.5. He played, like, Houston has a great matchup against Jacksonville. They play Cleveland, New England, Detroit, and New England might be getting rid of Stephon Gilmore as well. So there's a lot to look up to. For sure. I think out of those, for sure, that Brandin Cooks is the number one. Johnny, I mean, there can be some concern, but there's no need to worry about it right now. Like, if you're going to try and sell him, he's an ultimate sell low. So stick with him right now. I think he's going to be okay. Yeah, so just stick with Clyde. I think he's going to turn it around. I can never trust Cooks anymore, man. Do so. Yep. Exactly, right? I mean, him and Will Fuller both, right? Well, that's the thing is with Will Fuller and Brandin Cooks, you kind of just have to ride them until they're injured again. But with the, it's at least somewhat promising with the new coaching change that both are getting a lot of looks and a lot of targets. I mean, Brandin Cooks, he's had I can't tell targets necessarily, but like he's had 8 receptions, 9 receptions, 7. Will Fuller has had 4, 6, 3. So honestly, Cooks gets a little bit more volume than Brandin, and they're going to be the primary weapons on that Texans team. So yeah, I like Brandin Cooks a lot. I'm actually surprised that he's actually on the waiver wires. So I guess the next thing I wanted to do kind of is like just preview a few things. So I kind of wanted to, like, I don't know how long people are going to stay on for, and if like, if people want to just go to sleep soon or like chill out, or like, I'm happy to stay on for a little bit. Ro, what's up? Welcome back. Trade Diggs and Connor for Josh Jacobs and Michael Thomas. A-Rob, Fuller, Melvin, Gordon, Henderson. I think you keep your guys. We've been talking about this a lot. If you just joined the stream, we've been talking a lot about how Thomas is, like, we don't know what's going to happen to him. And theoretically he should be coming back soon, but there's always a chance that he he gets traded, or he just sits out for the rest of the week. Sorry, not the rest of the week, the rest of the year. So I just don't like that uncertainty, right? You're not really upgrading at either positions because we don't know what MT is when he's gonna come back and what he's gonna be like when he comes back. And you have a solid wide receiver 1 and a running back 1. So I think you keep your guys here, Raul. Fair point, both him and Fuller are, oh, for sure, exactly. Very much glass cannon, right? So, great while they're so active, but once that glass breaks, kind of useless. What are your thoughts on Gibson for the rest of the season? Yeah, so I think he's a great sell high candidate. I think he's going to have a pretty okay floor. He's still the primary back, but when I talked about Gibson, a few weeks ago, I said that I think he's not going to have as much of a value because whenever the Washington football team plays like remotely better team, which is most of the teams they're going to play. McKissic is going to be used a lot more as a pass catching back, and they're going to be coming from behind a lot as well. So because of that, if you can't sell them to high now, I don't think that's a bad idea at all, right? But if you can't sell them, you know, keep him for now, and he should be an okay RBT for you for the rest of the season. He's going to punch Drew Brees when he calls him Slant Boy this week. I know Drew Brees is like the slant guy now, right? That's hilarious. And we never know. Like I said, I would not be surprised if he gets traded tomorrow night. Oh, this will be fun. So yeah, anyone who's in here right now, still listening, we're gonna do our waiver wire stream tomorrow. But I don't know where everyone is. I'm assuming we have a spread of time zones, and some people probably don't want me to start too late. But we need, yeah, I'm gonna keep track of all the trades that's gonna happen, and we need to talk a little bit about trades next week. Sorry, on to tomorrow night. I think that's gonna be actually great. So I'm looking forward to that. Thoughts against Hasty? Okay. So, sorry. So Nick, let me talk to you. So Nick, welcome. Nick, I don't remember. Have you been here before? I feel like I might recognize your name, but I don't remember if you've been in here before. If not, welcome. Thoughts of Jonathan Taylor moving forward? I think he's gonna be okay. He might be. It might take him a little bit longer than we expected for him to get going, but at some point this season, honestly, he might be our fantasy playoff hero, right? I think he's going to be okay. You can't really do much at this point. He's a sell low. He's a buy low candidate. So you're not going to be able to trade much for him unless you have a diehard Colts fan in your league. So hold on to him. It sucks what we saw this week, right? But I guarantee you guys right now, Jordan Wilkins is not going to be our answer. Okay? I guarantee you that. Thoughts on Hasty this week against the worst run? I think he's gonna look okay. I didn't watch the 49ers game. What happened with like Tevin Coleman? Like, was he injured or like? Okay, so Tevin Coleman had an injury. It looks like, right? Let's see. What happened with Coleman this week? Coleman was activated, but he did okay. Okay, oh yeah, that's right. 49ers also play Makai. Yeah, I think Hasty's a good start. He should probably give you like a decent like RB2, high RB2 numbers this week. But we'll see what happens with that offense now that Jimmy G and Kittle's out. I don't get the Quan X. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Trade delighted. Oh, for sure. I think that would be great. I don't know if I'll make that into a video, but honestly, I don't know what you guys feel, but I feel like these streams might be a little bit more valuable to you guys than my daily my start and sits and starts and sits. Sorry, waiver wire pickups and starts and sits. So I definitely want to focus a little bit more on streams and maybe try and do it 4 times a week, maybe 5. But I do have plans to either probably in like the next week or two to do a playoff defensive stash, and I think that's going to be helpful to a lot of people. So I'll post that with sort of what I'll make a little grid of who I like, what defenses I like for streaming, and maybe talk a little bit about who we think are good pickups for certain parts of the playoffs. So be on the lookout for that. Nick, okay, that's what I thought. I feel like I recognize you. Thank you for coming by again. Raul, thank you for the subscribe. That means a lot. Thank you. Shit salary for 49ers for paying him a lot. Okay, fair. Ty, I know you're a 49ers fan. How was Alexander playing for you guys this year? Or I guess, was he injured? I feel like there won't be any huge trades that... Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I want something to happen, right? And I feel like a lot of stuff happens like the last few hours, or like the morning of, and then it's quiet, and then the last few hours, so we'll see. Coleman got re-injured. Yep, D Ford is next out. Yeah. Hey man, I will say I appreciate DeForest Buckner for me, guys. He's been a stud, and I think he's one of the main reasons why our defense is so solid this year. So thank you all for him. It was tough, and I know you guys had to sort of shed the salary, and you couldn't pay both of your guys. So love you guys for that. Oh yeah, instead of Buckner, and that's what a lot of people like. But you guys had to pay a lot more for Buckner, right? Like if you had to choose one, like I don't know that would you guys have really gotten back a first round pick for D Ford, right? So you shed the salary, and you got a first round pick, which I think is like, I thought it was a win-win situation. You guys got that other who was the other DT that you guys picked up? It was actually someone that that I was looking at for this year. Yeah, Kinlaw. How has Kinlaw been playing, you guys? My eyes are Wolf or AJ Green. Yeah, I think those two are solid. Take care, but he is amazing. I love him. Don't Fuller move purely for. Oh yeah, it sounds like Fuller might. I mean, if he went to Green Bay, I think his name was in connection to the Packers a lot, right? Yeah. I don't want to move either, but I wouldn't be surprised. I'm kind of curious to see what. I mean, here's the thing, right? The Texans are 1-6. It's going to be very hard for them to get to win the division, let alone get a wild card spot. So they might, just kind of tear things down now and try to really try to get some more draft picks because BOB really screwed them, and I don't think the Texans don't have a first round pick next year, right? So they need to figure that out. I would rebuild. You're 1-6. It's going to be tough to come back. But yeah, for fantasy reasons, well, if he goes to Green Bay, that's just gonna ruin everyone's day. So yeah. Also, by the way, chat, can you guys all hear the music okay? I think we had it when we had our beginning screen. Just want to make sure the music level is still okay. It's like, audible. Thoughts on streaming Cam Newton for Week 9 against the Jets? I don't think that's a bad idea, Sam. Again, here's my problem with Cam is I don't feel comfortable starting him unless we see a little bit more, right? I think he's very touchdown dependent, and the issue is it's not even quarterback, passing touchdowns. I think he's very rushing touchdown dependent. So I'm a little bit worried about it, but if you're forced to start him, he's not the worst start of the league. Yeah, it was Alexander was decent, but he got injured. Drake Greenlaw, our backup LB, has been real nice. I mean, you guys also have Fred Warner, right? He's a beast. I like Fred a lot. Eric Armstead, nowhere for Buckler. He'll have some rookie moments. He's solid. Give him your two. He'll probably hold up well with Armstead for sure. And again, I think at the end of the day, you guys weren't able to pay both of your DTs, right? So, purely from a business perspective, I get it. First round pick plus you shed the salary, I think that's great. Oh, for sure. Lamar should be able to turn things around. I mean, it's Lamar. I kind of figure with the regression that we typically see, especially after a season that he had, he probably wasn't gonna perform like that again. Still probably top 5, top 7 quarterback for the season, but yeah, it's tough. I actually haven't watched a lot of Lamar. How has he looked as a pure passer? Obviously from the running perspective, probably so great and all that. But I obviously it was gonna be hard. I don't remember what his average was last year, but I know he was averaging a lot more rushing yards per game than normal starting running backs. So I kind of figured this year that it was gonna be as as good, but close to awful. Interesting. Okay. Let me look at the stats right now. Let's look at Lamar Jackson. Oh well, okay. So he's position ranked 16. Wow. I did not expect that. Okay, so he's had a few rough games against Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Kansas City. Oh, well. Interesting. So it looks like he either scores mid to high 20s or teens. Not in between. That's rough. That's a little rough. Busted 2 out of 7 games. Boom, 3 out of 7. Average 20 points. So I mean, honestly, if you have a quarterback that's averaging 20 points, you say that's great. But yeah, again, for Lamar, who probably went round 3, round 4 at the latest, that's not great at all. What's the issue with Lamar? Is it just that he is actually not that pure of a passer and people have been containing him more? What's been going on with him? I've heard yeah, they finally figured out his play style. We'll be interested if the Colts can break through the Titans. Yeah, right, Ty? Yeah, you guys are gonna hear me gush over him, but I love Chris Ballard. He told us that he needed a 3-year plan. And can you guys just whatever fans you guys are, just thinking about the current Colts team with Andrew Luck instead. For me, I probably value Andrew Luck a lot more than you guys do. But right now that team, a top tier defense with Andrew Luck, like holy cow, like I think with our like Philip Rivers lost us both our Jacksonville game, which Jacksonville we didn't play well, but he lost us that game with like 2 horrible picks, and he lost us the game against the Browns because we held them literally to I think like less than like 50 yards, 80 yards in the second half and no points, and Rivers just threw a few picks. So we're like who would have thought as a Colts fan we would say like, hey, quarterback would be our concern, and like if we had a solid quarterback, there's a very, very solid chance that we will be 7-0 right now, right? It is what it is. I'm sad. I go to sleep crying about Andrew Luck every night. Not really, but man, if Andrew, like we finally got Andrew the team that he needed, that O-line, that defense, wide receiver could still use some work, but like man, we got the team for him, and he's somewhere just off into the sunset. It's man, just big rips in the chat, man. Yep, he grew regress as a passer. Yep, his knees have been bad this year. Oh, okay, that's rough. Do you think Jonathan Taylor would play this week, or should I pick up Hines? Yeah, Jonathan Taylor should play this week, Johnny. I would still play JT over Hines every week, but Hines is a good pickup for stash. Thoughts on sitting week 9 against New Orleans? I would say let's monitor the status of Chris Godwin. I think he's an okay play. I think he's an okay play if Godwin doesn't play, but I wouldn't feel comfortable playing him if Godwin's playing. Oh no, that's rough, Titter. Yeah, that's rough. I'm assuming he probably got him like maybe like 5th or 6th round. I mean, unless he's a huge Andrew Luck fan and picked him like up third round. But man, that was also just like so depressing to like, oh man, because I remember that I was watching the game. And all of a sudden, it was just a preseason game, and I was all happy and stuff. And all of a sudden, end of the third quarter, people start booing, and he's in this like raggedy like workout shirt, like just running off the field, and has his conference and just like cries and like talks about his retirement. And the last thing that he experiences on a football field is his own fans, own team, hometown, booing him. Like that's so bad. My other wide receivers are T. Higgins, Ayuk, Juju, and Chark. Okay, so I like T. Higgins and Ayuk. So yeah, I would still say keep an eye out for what's going on. I haven't done the analysis on the starts and sits just yet, but if we were to look at the NFL schedule, week 9. So let's see. We have I mean, T. Higgins I wouldn't sit. Ayuk keep on playing. I actually like Nick Mullins with Ayuk a lot. Jacksonville's playing. Chark could actually have an okay matchup against the Texans. Pittsburgh, who they're playing Pittsburgh are playing the Cowboys. Man, that's tough. Yeah, monitor Godwin's stats, but if you want to sit Evans and start your other guys, I don't think that's a bad idea at all. Time was worse for Luck just when you guys finally have a team. I know. That's the thing. Yeah, right? And I think, not even just saying this as a Colts fan, I think Andrew Luck is going to be one of the most biggest what ifs. What if he stayed with the, not even just with the current, because I think there's going to be a lot of what ifs if he was playing with his current Colts team, but what if he just stayed? Because, I don't want to deem him as a Hall of Fame quarterback, but, the projection that he was going to, that he was on, there's a good chance that he could have, right? And Luck is this kind of guy where he came as a rookie, took us to the playoffs. Every single year we got one round further, right? And he just didn't have the team. So I don't think he's gonna come back, but I would love it for him to come back and run it back one more year. Ideally, he's kind of done with sort of the father life this year. And he's like, well, I kind of want to get back into. I'm itching to get back into football. And Rivers is, we have him for this one last year, and we swap him for Andrew Luck. That would be great. But I kind of have a feeling he's done forever, unfortunately. We see a lot of people retire early. Luke Kuechly also had a kind of surprising retirement last year as well. So, I mean, hey, he's also a smart man, right? You made a lot of money. You start a family. Unless you have a super high passion to continue to play. Financially, there's not a huge reason to, and he was getting beat up. I don't blame him. Our last GM really just didn't protect him, made some really bad picks, and he just got beat up so much. He was getting injured, lacerated kidney, you know, broken ribs or whatever. It was tough. You know, he gave it all, and like I think we literally just like broke him down, not only physically but also mentally. So that's tough. Oh, T. Higgins is on a bye this week. Yeah, so either way, you know, I think you're fine with Evans, Ayuk. Yeah, I mean, again, like I think they all have really good matchups. I'll make my list of what my wide receiver rankings are for this week, and I can give you a better idea, Sam, of like who I prefer if you were to start 3. But I don't think not any of them have bad matchups, honestly. Oh, Blue Hawaii, what's up? Thank you for the sub. A quick question: who should I start this week? Aaron Rodgers versus San Francisco or Josh Allen versus Seattle? That's a good question. So I was telling people I have not yet made my rankings list. I would probably go Aaron Rodgers because he's been playing at a little bit higher tier than Josh Allen right now. I think Josh Allen has a great matchup against Seattle. But right now, before I do more research into the actual like stats and numbers of it, I would probably lean Rodgers a little bit. But yo, thank you so much for the sub. That's great. I appreciate it. He could. I agree with that, Breck. He could come any second. The only thing with him, and you know, I am a Josh Allen owner. My concern is he's been playing some like I think like not great teams, right? And not performing. Like Jets, he only put up 16 points. Kansas City, like I think they're okay. Tennessee is they have a bad defense. And you know, he's been putting up mid-teen numbers recently. So although Seattle's a great matchup, I think I prefer Rodgers a little bit more just because like Rodgers has been putting up the numbers, right? I mean, let's look at his stats from the last few weeks. I mean, obviously Tampa Bay was bad, but besides that, you know, he's averaging 20 plus points, so it's hard to like go off of him. And I don't know, I mean, I don't know if this offends anybody, and San Francisco fans, feel free to tell me this, but like, I don't know that San Francisco has the defensive power to really stop Rodgers for putting up another 20 plus point game. Should I take a gamble on Chris Carson if he plays Sunday? Other running backs are Damian Hayes, Hasty, and Hunt on bye week. I think you're okay. If he plays, you play him, right? I don't think he's gonna play. We'll monitor it. Otherwise, Henry, Damian Harris, and Hasty, I think that's an okay. I think that's a fine lineup. Otherwise, if you can, I would probably, unless someone else comes back for the 49ers, I would probably go Henry, Carson, and then Hasty. Hey, Blue Hawaii, I might start AB. I'm thinking about it. I need to look at who's on bye, who's still injured. I've got some depleted teams, and I might start AB. For sure, yeah. And that's the thing is, like, the one thing I always say, guys, is like, don't, like, at the end of the day, you know, we can get super deep and like statistical and numerical and like, you know, research heavy into fantasy. But, you know, again, like at some point, you know, fantasy is a lot of luck, right? And, you know, unless quarterback A has been playing literally the easiest defenses and quarterback has been playing the worst defenses, or sorry, the best defenses, you know, just look at the numbers. Rodgers had his worst game against Tampa Bay. We all saw that. Sure, let's just throw that out. Otherwise, his worst game is against Detroit, and that was 18.7 points. Otherwise, he's been putting up like averaging like what, mid to like high 20s. And Josh Allen has been just, you know, or let's say averaging around 15 points, and he's been in a slump. So at the end of the day, we can debate San Francisco defense versus Seahawks defense, and yeah, sure, Josh Allen has a better matchup, but you also kind of just go with the numbers, right? Why would you assume all of a sudden Josh Allen's gonna, you know, blow up for 30 points? It could happen, but like to me, I would rather, you know, not take the risk and just go with the guy who's almost going to guarantee you, you know, 20, 22 plus points a game versus some guy who's sort of been in the slump and just averaging around 15. So, you know, I think there's a lot to go into it. That's the very basic way to think about it, right? But also, like, I think name recognition kind of messes with us a lot. Maybe we'll do this on stream someday. Because I guarantee you, if we talk about certain players, people will stick with them if they're like, let's say a wide receiver. If they score average of 6 points a week, but they're a big name wide receiver, right? People are going to still stick with them. If it's someone who just picked off of waivers, or like if the same person's on waivers with a different name, 6 points a game, no one's even going to think about them, right? So maybe we'll do a fun activity one night. We'll have some participants, and I mean, everyone will be a participant. I will strip out the name of certain players. We're going to look at their stats over a few weeks and ask you guys who would you start, right? And I guarantee you that there's going to be a big discrepancy with who you all choose if we have unknown player names versus if I give you the names. That's something to think about. Johnny says he wouldn't start AB. Nick says I'm playing AB. Worth the risk for sure, for sure. Yeah, Burke, thank you for your input. It's always great to have more people involved. He hasn't played in a year. That's a risk. Johnny, the one thing I will say about AB for people who are wanting to start him is that I think he is in very good football shape. So I wouldn't be surprised. I was saying earlier, I expect him to probably score be in like the 7 to 12 point range for PPR. I would say. A lot of Man, that hurts, Burke. Don't beat me down any more than I am already. Let's see, catching up. I'm not sure about Rivers' status beyond next year, just for fun, but curious. Would you rather have Fitzpatrick, Winston, rookie? I think we go rookie quarterback. One guy I really like is the guy we drafted is Jacob Eason. Obviously he's not in Mahomes, but he's had some comparisons because he has a huge arm, and I think he's looked very good. So what I'm really hoping, Ty, is that we get up in a few games this year and give him a few drives to see how he is, right? He's still going to be a 6th-round quarterback, and obviously we have Tom Brady, but the chances are that he may not be a quality starter. So I think we try him maybe a little bit and see how he is. Otherwise, it's tough, right? Because the Colts aren't a team that's going to be able to have a bad enough record to get a really good quarterback. So my dream quarterback, honestly, for next year is actually Dak Prescott. I really hope Jerry Jones just continues to be Jerry Jones and doesn't pay him. So I honestly wouldn't mind it if we took a chance and gave, we have I think one of the, if not the most, one of the top 2 or 3 salary cap rooms, because our GM is a mastermind with that stuff. So I wouldn't mind throwing money at someone like a Dak Prescott. I can see us maybe, if we can't have a good candidate, maybe bring in a Matt Stafford, because honestly, you guys, without looking it up, I want you to guess how Matthew Stafford is right now. I need to look it up, but yeah, without looking it up, guess how old Matthew Stafford is right now. Because he's someone that I would actually look at as well. Let's see. This one my week against 0-7 team. I am 4-4 other fees, so Pep's put for sure. Okay, I get that. By desperation, yeah. Hey, cheers. Let's all go AB. I would do that too. I've been stashing him for a month and no one expecting it. Okay, Burke guesses 34. Let's see if no cheating. Sure, if you guys want to cheat, that's fine. But just no cheating. What I want to hear what people think Matt Stafford's age is. OBJ versus Fulgham, big names, low points. Exactly, for sure. Oops. Oh, jeez. Cat just knocked over some stuff. Let me reset. For sure, Burke. That's a great example. I just dropped the Jersey Charlie defense this afternoon. That's not a bad idea. Hey, Easton's from. Yep, let's go. I like him. I think I really want to give him a chance and see what Easton can do. I have some faith. 34, 32, 38. So he's actually, he is 32. You're right, Blue Hawaii. And just to give you some perspective on that, Andrew Luck is 31, right? So I think we think of Matthew Stafford as holy cow, he's been in the league for so long, he's got to be old, right? And I mean, Andrew Luck, and we're he's young, he's still a rising quarterback, but yeah, Stafford and Luck, they're only 1 year apart, so that's why I was saying I kind of like Stafford. I kind of hope Detroit maybe lets him go and sort of resets a little bit, because I think Detroit's kind of stuck in that hellhole where they're always going to be bad and they're not going to be good enough to have a high draft pick. So yup. I also have Mike Thomas, so getting the chance to play. Oh yeah, no, that's great, Nick. I hope they both play well, and I have high hopes there. Stafford looks bad right now. I truly believe he's off-season back surgery. Yep. Tacoma. Oh, Tacoma. Nice. Man, Luke, yeah, hey, we're still in here, man. Welcome back, welcome back. I'm not that hurt that you left me for a little bit, based on your comments at least. Niners fan, okay, Niners fan, yeah, we got a Niner fan. Burke, I love it. I love that trash talk. Jackson Colts will be a hell of a pickup. Brian Steckback, oh, for sure, for sure. I mean, that dude was going for some records this year. I love what I was seeing with him. I had him in one of my leagues. I'm so sad that he got injured. That's, man, I don't know if you guys saw that video, but that was a gruesome injury. So, ugh, you know, tough. Yeah, so like it sounds like we got some Washington guys in here, a few Niners fans as well. That's awesome. Aaron from Vegas. Jimmy G. Nice. Yeah, Jimmy G, I don't know. I mean, he's also just, he got injured again. I mean, honestly, like, sure, you can say he's bad or whatever, but like, for what they did to trade him, for like, even though they didn't win the Super Bowl, like, I thought it was worth it to at least make it to the Super Bowl. So, yeah. Katie the Wiz, what's up? New here. Do you give advice on possible fantasy trades or talk about prior? Hey, Katie, we do everything. We're small enough right now that I answer any questions. We usually talk about, we try and focus on certain things on different days. So like waiver wire pickups and start and sits, but honestly, like, it's a very one-on-one experience. So feel free to ask whatever you want, and you know, I will try and answer you to the best of my ability. And as you can see, chat is popping, so everyone, we'll talk a little bit and see, try and give your best advice. So feel free to ask whatever you want. It's an open forum. Who would be? Oh yeah, hell yeah, Blue Hawaii. Let them know what I, let me know chat knows what I think about Burden. Yeah, Blue Hawaii. Burden is the guy I would go here. He's our tight end and our running back. Ty, that's hilarious. Nice. They're paying him. Oh geez, 27. Well, yeah, I guess, and I think the QB market is going up, right? So. Yeah, well, we'll see what happens to Jimmy G. He looked decent, I mean, the Super Bowl year, but this year's been, you know, getting benched, getting injured. I'm sure the injuries, like, really messing with him, not only just physically, but also probably, you know, mentally too, so not great. But yeah, the Niners have had a rough season this year. It's tough. But watch him just get, like, another high. I mean, what are the Niners' records? What's their record right now? They are, okay, so they're fourth in the... They're 4-4, so honestly, just start tanking. Start tanking for another really good draft pick. You'll be back in the Super Bowl in no time. But that's a tough division as well, I'll say. Good luck with that. Niner gang. Blue and green. I like the Seahawks a lot. Didn't want to fall for. So Jack Doyle, he's still gonna get it, right? I think he's still gonna get you like a touchdown every other week. So if Burden's not there, Doyle is an okay pick. I do like Burden a little bit more though, as well. Say 4-4. Yep. Yeah. Love that reference, Berg. That was hilarious. Man, I miss Sherman. I honestly just miss the Legion of Doom. Legion of Boom. Sorry. I really wanted to see a prime Russell Wilson versus prime Andrew Luck Super Bowl. That's one of my wishes. Won't ever happen. Katie the Wiz. All right, we have a trade. Robert Woods for Gio Bernard and Corey Davis in our league. I think the person is getting a steal. Giving up. So I don't want to say necessarily a steal, because I think Mixon's going to be back after their bye. So I think Gio might have, like, this might have been his only, like, you know, great week left. And I think, you know, Woods and Davis are probably somewhat equal. I like Corey Davis a lot, but Woods is probably a little bit higher of a production and proven wide receiver. So I don't know that it's necessarily a steal. I think it's all right. You know, I don't think it's lopsided as well, say, and a lot of it depends on, you know, their records and what they need. But yeah, I wouldn't say like I think it's okay actually. DK's overrated. Damn, man, this chat's about to get spicy. We have no choice to tank. The division is brutal for sure. I mean, hey, stop winning games. 4-4 is already kind of putting you up there. You just got to tank the rest of the season. But I believe in Nick Mullins, man. I think Nick Mullins to Brian and Ayuk, that's gonna be dirty, dirty. Western Conference MB, yep. The QB from BYU or Justin? Who is the QB from BYU? Who is that actually? Who are we talking about here? Zach Wilson? Legion of Brooms. DK's celebration, can't deny that. I know, right? I did not expect it. I mean, we learn something new every. Man, I don't. Am I really becoming a 49ers YouTuber? It's funny because I did actually want to do like a one night for just like Colts streaming for the Colts subreddit, but I think we're pretty fantasy heavy that it's not even really necessary. Calling him a top. How many years did it take for Leversco to finally be fulfilled? He'll be a top wide receiver in the league, no doubt. Now they're stopping blitzing in the Hawks, and for some reason, Shannon. Yeah, I know. Yep. Shanahan, right? I don't know. Zach Wilson, he's. Is Zach Wilson getting some hype? Is he like pre-draft profile? Like what? I actually haven't. What is the deal with I haven't heard much. I mean, maybe it's just me, but has he gotten a lot of hype? I feel like you have like your Fields, you have your Trevor Lawrence, you have Trey Lance even, but I don't know. I don't know how much hype Zach Wilson's getting. I'm a big Carson fan. When you see Russ, oh man, that Russ has one of the prettiest deep balls. Like, man, it's just like, yeah. He came in through deep balls and Jimmy's. Oh, interesting. I did not know. Yeah, I honestly, what I saw, at least stat wise, is that Mullen is he really just kind of goes. He looks like a gunslinger. That's awesome. I think he might hurt you guys with the tanking chances, but we'll see. And I guess let's actually look. All right, let's look at the stats right now. We were talking about DK and whether or not he was a top 10 wide receiver, right? So we're looking at receiving right now. Yards. DK Metcalf is number 4, 680, behind Robbie Anderson. So he's what, like 15 behind number 1. TDs, he's tied for the most. So I mean, honestly, right now, I think it's hard to say he's not a top 10 wide receiver, right? I know the high against is brutal. Injury to play through affects performance. I know, exactly. I was gonna say he doesn't see himself like after all of his injuries. What happens to Taylor? I shocked. Well, yep. So Blue Hawaii. So what happened was, well, number 1, we got ahead, but also it sounds like JT got a minor ankle injury. I don't think it's anything that's gonna keep him out for more than then, but the injury, I think they wanted to keep him out a little bit, and the coaches were willing to ride with a hot hand. They didn't honestly have a lot of opportunities to run in the end zone because, honestly, Rivers was just doing nice little wheel routes to Hines from like 20 yards out, and he was just scoring. I don't know if anyone saw that six celebration that he did. I was honestly afraid he was going to tear an ACL or something, but I think it was a combination of like the slight injury, hot hands with Wilkins and Hines, and just the fact that we're up that like there wasn't a need to like play him besides getting more experience. And if he had the injury, just like don't aggravate it or don't risk anything. Richard Brock, what's up, my man? How you doing? Jimmy was awful last year against the Hawks too. They paid him so much. Yup, for sure. Finance Patriots. And that's the thing, is I honestly felt like they paid a lot for him when they first made the trade. But hey, if he can get a Super Bowl appearance out of it, like, you can't say that it wasn't worth it, right? We'll trade Eason and give you guys. Oh man, I don't know how I feel about that trade. Maybe his salary's not great, right? I think we stick with the salary. How was Garoppolo? Is he still in his 20s? Oh, 1981 GCC. Oh, he's only 29. Yeah. I don't know that we do that. I think more so the salary is a little bit of a turnoff, but hey, we'll see, right? Simi right off, he got Tim Dodd, yeah. So, we lost to 0 in Seattle. Last I checked. I do some free leagues with family and friends as well, Richard. I'm like not like obviously I do and talk a lot about fantasy, but like I'm not like an intense fantasy football player. I do feel like I have a lot of experience with it, but nothing too intense. I have my money leagues and I have my for fun leagues, and for me, honestly, I just love to involve more people, more friends into it, family members who don't even know football, and it's become a very fun thing. So yeah, that's good. Seattle fans are bragging about the 1 ring, 1 to 2 Super Bowl rings, most in 01 in a 1 year. Like, damn, you'll have the most handsome. That's true. That's true. Need that in like what, middle of the country, cornfield, Indiana, right? Jimmy G, right? Wasn't he dating a porn star as well or something? Like, I guess I don't really know. Yeah, he had a relationship with an adult film star before, which, sure, I guess if you're a handsome quarterback, why not, right? Jeremiah. Oh man, I hope our high schoolers who usually come to the chat are not in here, because I don't want to be that streamer who have them going looking for a Kiara Mia. Yes, Richard. So I have a full list. The video is going to come out tomorrow morning. Take a look at that, and then we can talk a little bit more tomorrow night during the stream. We're going to talk more about all the trades, last minute trades that's happening in actual NFL and the waiver wire. But yeah, I still need to finish my list. But yeah, take a look at I do have a good list for you tomorrow, Richard. So keep an eye out for that. There are a few high schoolers here. I don't remember all of them. There were a few where like literally they jumped in and out. They're like, hey, sorry, I had to do homework, or like I'm working on like algebra or something. Like, no, there's some good guys who are a little bit younger here. So these Niner fans are picking on me. Yeah, I know, right? We need. I don't know if I have enough viewer count to kick or ban anybody at the moment. So we're at least until tomorrow night, until the election's over, we're still a freedom of speech free country, unfortunately. That's hilarious though. I think we have a good mix of different people. Honestly, it was fun on the stream on Saturday night. We did a late night stream at like 11 or 11:30. And yeah, we found out we have some Canada folks in here. That was cool. So it's always really fun to like see like where people are, that are finding my streams randomly, and also who people cheer for. Yeah, Richard, I think next week isn't so let me just check. Who did the Titans play? The Titans play the Bears next week, so it might actually. It might be kind of a tough matchup for him. I will have a better answer for you. I don't want to say anything off the top of my head, because all I'm seeing is a matchup right now. But I do actually do a little bit of analysis and research into all the matchups. So once I come up with that rankings list, I will let you know. But tomorrow I will for sure. Tomorrow morning, mid morning, I'll have a list for all the Titan pickups for you, and I'll be able to talk a little bit more about my Titan rankings and who I think you should start based on who you have and who you have available. Probably Thursday night or one of the streams this weekend for sure. But honestly, it's hard to give him a Jonnu, right? He just came back from injury, had a tough game. I don't want to give him just yet, as well. I'll say. New standings to kick in. Yeah, thank you, Brenda. This is awesome. I'm so glad that like we're actually having all these like chats, and like we have these like friendly benchers and stuff in like just within chat. For sure, Richard. And like I will get you the information. Like I just don't want to say anything right now that I'm gonna change my mind a few days from now. So let me do my homework so I can give you a more confident answer in a few days for sure. Washington fans have to with a quality mascot. I just traded away Andrews for Brandon Cooks since the other guy lost Kiddo, but the commission like, really? Wait, so Blue, did the commission just like veto it, or like did he just say he didn't like it? I know. Honestly, it sucked. But don't worry about him. Both of the kicks that he missed were actually really, really bad. They were just really bad snaps, and our entire subreddit is already like calling for the head of our snapper. So I wouldn't worry about him, Mog. Don't worry about him. But yeah, Blue Hawaii. What ended up happening with the trade? Because I mean, I would have liked it if you got Brandon Cooks there, but like, what went on with the commission? Is he power tripping? Did he actually veto it, or did he just say like, "Hey, I don't like it," and is telling people to veto it? Because either one of the last two, that's a little shady, I would say. I wouldn't like that. I wouldn't do that as a commish, at least. That's why, and I hope maybe your I do hope that your league is by vote. Oh, okay. Did he like publicly say that he wanted people to veto it, or like did he just do it on himself? Majority vote is good. That's good. I'm glad. I got hey, the end. Right, I hope I said that right. What's up, man? Welcome here. I think you're new to the stream too. Welcome. I got Gronk and Andrews. Should I start? Should I flex my wide receiver, AJ Brown, Slayton, Ruggs, trying to pick up Marvin Jones? Yeah, so start Gronk over Andrews. I can't give you a direct, so I was telling other people, I'm sure you just joined, but I haven't written on my rankings for this week yet, so I don't want to give you a solid say. So if I were you, if you don't mind, come back to my video on Thursday or one of my streams Thursday and on. I will give you a better answer. Otherwise, just off of the top of my head looking at this, I would probably go AJ Brown and I don't like Slayton Ruggs honestly too much. Pick up Marvin Jones if you can for sure, but I will have a better answer for you. I will have a better answer for you later this week if you stick around, subscribe, and I will have a start and sit video, and I will be able to answer all these start and sit questions in a few days, Thursday and after, once I have come up with all my rankings. I'm one of two commission my league, and we don't vote on trades. So if anything was sus, I usually discuss with other for sure. That's good. Deanne, thank you for the subscribe, and hey, I promise you I will remember that. So I like right now. Gronk start for sure, but yeah, let's talk. I'm completely down to look at your entire team once it comes down to Thursday streams, and we'll figure it out. Nice, thank you. Which Johnson did you get? Deontay Johnson, David Johnson, or what's up? I gave him a Janua, traded him for just oh, that's good, Luke. That's good. I mean, you have Waller, who's a solid starter for probably most of the season, so I like that. Every time it gets discussed with everybody, majority vote to decision, but no vetoes this year. The commission just wants Andrews since he has Gronk. That's stupid. Yeah, I mean, honestly, like that's pretty bad of the commissioner to like veto the trade based on like his own needs. You should only, and that's the thing, is like too many people get caught up in like the vetoes and like just having that power to do it. And sure, if that happens, that's just the league you're in, but like you really shouldn't be using the veto power unless like there's collusion going on or there's like an absolute lopsided trade. But even so, like let the owners make the decisions themselves and learn from their experiences and mistakes, right? I really only think the collusion should be used the veto should be used in extreme cases where there's collusion. Right, yeah, it makes sense. That should be yep, for sure. And if it's just a for fun league, that's fine. You can't expect there's so many leagues out there, and there's so many that are just like not really competitive ones. So if there's money involved, I would be a little hesitant. But if it's just for a fun league, just whatever, let it be what it is. But yeah, I try I as a commish, I don't like to get involved in trades. Unless there's obvious collusion, but most of the people, I mean, all of the people I play are, good, they're good and fair people that there usually isn't collusion happening. Nice, that's good, Blue. It's a season-long money league. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, for sure. And hey, if stuff does happen like that in the future, you're already deep into it. Just do what you can. Maybe it's a good thing that that it doesn't go through, but I would definitely keep note of all these things, and if it's really going to be an issue in the future, or if it's really going to be an issue this year, then just talk about it with the league mates over off season, and maybe get like, you know, give the commissioner less power or something like that. But it's all things that you should keep track of, especially if money is involved. Oh, for sure, Andrews is very TD dependent, in my opinion, and I think people sort of have him as higher ranked. Like, I think the name and what he did last year make people want to consider him as a top tier tight end, but he really is just a very TD dependent. I mean, let's pull up the stats, right? So we look at Mark Andrews. Look at all of these Baltimore. So we look at Mark Andrews. He's currently ranked number 5. Sure, that's great. He had 3 good games, 20 points, 19 points, 14 points. But you're right, he hasn't broken 60. In those games, he got 2 TDs, and 1. Otherwise, yeah, he's super. If he doesn't get a touchdown, he's scoring less than like 5 points, less than 4 points on average. So he's, I guess, kind of boomer bust, right? Yeah, that's tough. We vetoed collusion. People vetoed. The owners were pissed and said every trade should be vetoed. Yeah. I mean, honestly, especially if you play in like a bigger league, you can't expect everyone to act like adults, unfortunately. So that's a little tough, but it is what it is, you know. With vetoes, and there was a collusion. People. So I traded. You remember? It's not a big deal. Nice. Sub league. Oh, for sure. I would love that. I know, right? I think that's something I have thought about for sure. I definitely want to do a sub league. And so honestly, the other thing I'm starting to think about now is fantasy is only going to last like what, another like 7 or 8 weeks or so, right? So, you know, as we get more, I know most of you guys are here for the fantasy football stuff. But you know, we've sort of developed a very small community here, and that's great, right? I would be kind of curious to see what other content that you guys are interested in, and I want you guys to be completely honest with me, sort of towards the end of the, you know, now or even towards the end of it, because honestly, when I first started the channel, it was going to be more of like a lifestyle tech, sort of food travel channel, which I know is like kind of all over the place. But for my channel specifically, I would like to, you know, especially in the off season, probably get into more topics. Whether that's on this channel or a different channel, that's still to be determined. So, you know, if there are other things that you guys are interested in seeing, definitely let me know. But I definitely have interest and have content for other topics as well. I still want to focus as much as I can on football and fantasy in the off season, as we all know. You know, between the Super Bowl and like, you know, the draft, honestly, there's not going to be too much. So I'll figure out a way to really keep things going. Obviously, I only want you guys to, you know, I want your feedback, and I want you guys to continue to be involved if it's actually things that you guys are interested in, and I don't want to force anything. So, you know, start thinking about it and let me know. But there's definitely other content that I have. Yeah, for sure. So that's I think a sub league would be really, really fun next year. That's yeah, let's do it. Why the foodie? Great. Can't travel for a year. I know, yeah. Mainly it's going to be the end. It's mainly going to be like road trips that I have. Like, for example, I just did a road trip where I went through like a bunch of national parks, and I did this like super death-defying hike. And I don't know if anyone's heard of it, but it's called Angel's Landing in Zion National Park, where you're literally just climbing up like this big of a pathway with like chains. And I have some footage on that. So it's just like more like nature-y stuff, I guess, for now. But I'm also very interested in like foodie stuff since I'm in LA, and I'm very into tech. So we'll figure it out. Gilbert and Ty, welcome, fellas. Thank you for coming in. It's late, and welcome to see y'all here. We've been having a great stream tonight. Yeah, we can talk fantasy football. And yeah, Burke is getting just ganged up on tonight, so. Open to anything, maybe add a few more sports, continue to do football. Yeah, sports is something, I was thinking about maybe getting into like more generic, like non-fantasy sports stuff and having it as just like a sports channel, but we'll see, because I feel like not a lot of people play fantasy across a bunch of different sports. And like, once you get into like fantasy baseball, fantasy basketball, it's so like, it's a lot of hard work just being a participant, you know? So yeah, no, so I live in California, but I do a lot of traveling, and I do a lot of outdoor stuff. I'll be doing, you know, skiing, snowboarding once snow comes too, hopefully. So yeah, RVing with family, friends is a blast for sure. Ty? What's Ingram's tweet? Let's pull it up. Mark Ingram. Let's see. What's happening? Okay, so Mark Ingram 10 hours ago, they change up on you quickly, and they love to say that the have is only conditional. God's plan is perfect. Stay down 21. They can't stop what God. Damn. Ty, yes, I actually sneak peek. I have Dobbins finally as my pickup in my waiver wire video tomorrow, so look out for that. Ty, yeah, for sure. Zion, Utah is beautiful. Zion, Bryce, a lot of even state parks. It's amazing. Go if you can. When I came for fantasy football, and I say with the good times for you, for sure, exactly. And like that's what I mean is I think I'm very confident we'll have a very tight community, so it'll be cool to do stuff. And like if things die down because people are mainly interested in fantasy, that's fine. And I just hope we can pick it up next year again. But I expect that. We all came here for one goal, and we love talking football. And not everyone's gonna have the same interest, right? So we'll see what happens for sure. Miss living in Long Beach. I know Hollywood. Oh wow, interesting. Nice, Blue. That's cool that you used to live in Long Beach. That's a great area. I'm a Ravens fan, and oh man. Oh, is Mark Ingram gonna get traded? I mean, that's honestly not a bad. That's not a bad idea for the Ravens, right? Because they don't really need him, so they may do that. Yeah, interesting. Ty for sure. Oh no, basketball. I haven't tried baseball, but basketball is tough. Maybe change how we. Yeah, exactly. For sure. And Brick, I think that's one of the things. If I can keep enough football information going on for this channel, I think it's very, very smart for me. Just like YouTube wise to just keep it as football. But yeah, we'll see how big we get. I mean, right now, what are we at? We're at what are we at right now? We're at oh wow, 133 subscribers. So that's great. I think we've gained maybe 9 tonight. So we've been actually doing really well. I think the subscribers have been coming in through chat mainly. So yeah, I mean, if we can gain, I don't know, like 10 a stream, maybe we'll hit 500 by the end of the season. I don't know. I don't really know what a realistic goal is. It's hard to gauge how fast I'm growing and like how much of it, is still gonna be active people, but maybe let's set a goal for 500 by the end of the season. Like nothing's definitely, yeah, for sure. Fantasy football. Yeah, Blue Hawaii for sure. I think next year we do this 100%. What's the point of having soldiers if you don't? Man, that's rough. Ravens play better without Ingram. That might get him some carries. I love Ingram, but he's not vital. We have to. Yeah, for sure. I think 500 goal will be great. I think that's a attainable goal, and I would love to hit 500 by the end of fantasy. So yeah, let's set that as a goal. Let's see if we can do this. We'll do. I'm still playing around with this, but okay, we're gonna do this, and we're gonna do. How do I change this? Let's see. Let's see if I can actually add this to the stream. So right now we're at 133, right? Oh, and after 2021. Let's see what happens here. Ah, jeez. Just trying to add all these fancy little widgets here. So yes. Let me know if you guys can see that actually. Sub goals. I'm not gonna keep this up. It's just something I think that's actually kind of annoying to have all stream. Yeah, there you go. We got 58 days to go. Maybe I set it as January 1st. We're gonna see if we get 500. Yeah, honestly, with CBS, like the problem with a lot of the more like CBS sports, like what is it? Sports Illustrated, those bigger, more generic ones, they give you like the most like obvious, information. And a lot of the times, especially like with waivers and stuff, like there are already people that are not available anymore. So, I try to focus on the guys that need a little bit of oops. I try to focus on the guys that need a little bit of love, as NFL players. Let me fix this. Pass over What's Ober? I really disagree with pretty much everything now. Tyler Yates say nowadays. Yeah, big time, right? Sub go. I can only listen to fantasy football and occasionally from okay, nice. Fantasy pros relies too much on rankings for sure. I lost Kiddo, dude. Pick up anyone? Oh, for sure, Gilbert. Just look out for the Titan waiver wire tomorrow, and we'll talk tomorrow night. I'm hoping you can join the stream, but we'll talk a little bit. Would you consider a call and shown? Oh, for sure. I think that would be really fun. You know, I definitely want to still consider ways to interact with subscribers. So hey, you know, I remember the OGs and the ones who are gonna stay here a lot. So maybe we'll do like, you know, call-ins, Zoom calls and stuff like that. I would love to do interactions, just talk. I think that's really cool. Oh, Bert, get him with it. So I think there's a lot to think about, but you know, let's continue just to focus on this season, grind as much as we can, give the best information as much. I like I said, I think streaming is the way to go. I think I think the videos I provide on uploads are good, but I think streaming is the way to go. So let me know if you guys disagree. But I think streaming is the most interactive way to do things, and I think it's great because for like our purposes, people want advice and people want to talk things through, right? So I think it's great that, you know, everyone's gonna go through and look at different rankings and like get a list, but what people want is that personal interaction. So I don't listen to much music, so what's yeah, for sure. Hey, well, Blue Hawaii, you get some football and you get some music in this stream, so you get a little bit of everything. Yeah, tonight has been great. I mean, you know, everyone's so involved, and we have so many people that come through every time. Turton Bray. That's totally fair. Podcasts are where they go, especially this football focus. After I lost to Sal yesterday, yep. I like the streams for sure. Yep, and I agree with that. So honestly, I still want to put out these videos. They take a little bit of time, and honestly tonight, I probably should end soon in like the next half an hour, because I still need to edit my waiver wire video for tomorrow. That's probably gonna take me like another hour or two, but yeah, definitely I'm gonna get that out for you guys by the morning. And also, guys, what I would love is that if there's anything that like on YouTube specifically, like, you know, those bigger footballers that you listen to or you watch, you know, fantasy pros, you know, headliners, whatever. If there's anything that they do that you guys really like, that you think I should incorporate to either my channel for just like normal uploads or streams, let me know. Yeah, so, you know, just keep me updated, and I'm more than open to, you know, recommendations and advice on how to change things. Even if it's like, you know, hey, I like your videos, but I think you should present it in a different format, you know, show less face, show more face, you know, whatever you want, just let me know. Like, I'm very flexible to what we want to do. Blue Hawaii, so my waiver wire picks are always going to be, they're always going to drop on Tuesday, like morning Pacific, so around like 9 or 10. So you'll get it depending on where, well, we know where you are, but like most people will get it by late morning. And then we do a stream Tuesday night to talk about all waiver pickups. And I mean, honestly, like most of these are free form, so we'll talk about trades, starts and stuff. But Tuesday nights we usually focus on like, hey, this is my lineup. Who should I pick up? Who should I drop? For sure, for sure. Gotta look into that cat. yeah, for sure. I don't know where he is. I know they've been, one pet is sleeping, the other one's just kind of been bopping around. But yeah, definitely keep me updated with what you guys want to see. I was telling, for those of you that weren't here earlier, so outside of my normal waiver wire and start and sits, one idea we want to do is actually do I want to do a playoff and rest of the season, like sort of like defense stash. I think that's gonna be helpful for people. Young Wei impersonator, welcome to your fan base. Yo, oh man, I should have dressed. That would have been great. I should have dressed up as Young Wei for Halloween, but I don't know that it was worth paying for a jersey. Jerseys are expensive these days, man. It's like, I feel like you get like one jersey every like couple years. Just make it last. Hopefully the player doesn't get traded or retired. Yeah. Andrew like signature. Hey, listen. Like you know, we said this before. Once we get a little bit bigger and we actually can, like, you know, obviously 500 is a goal, but like if we ever get into the thousands and like we really need to, like, you know, get that sub count up into like the 10,000s, we'll do some crazy stuff. We'll do some we'll do some wild stuff for to you know, really sell ourselves out to get the subs. I mean, it's funny because, like, you know, I think 500 will be amazing, but also you guys thinking about it, like 500 compared to literally every, like, most guys on you know, on YouTube, it's nothing. It's probably what they get in a week, right? Like if I look at literally just fantasy football, there are fantasy footballers, NFL fantasy football. I don't count ES fantasy football advice, fantasy headliners, and fantasy football show. And, you know, they have 230K, 30K, 90K, 110K, and 6K. So I don't know if it will ever even like hit like 2 or 3K, but you know, let's keep that grind up. And you know, obviously the stream is the most important thing. Actually, I think the one night that I got 20 plus subs was because someone, and I don't remember if it was one of you guys who like actually went in, but someone went into, I think, the Fantasy Flock Network or some other big streamer that was streaming at the same time, and they just shouted me out, and we got like 20 new subs, so that was awesome. But yeah, I'm always curious, you know. I mean, obviously a lot of these guys have been around for a while, so you know, it's all about hard work and the grind to get up there. But it's so hard for me, like just having literally less than 200 subs right now, to like imagine, like, damn, how, like, what is it actually gonna take to hit that first 1,000 subscribers, right? And like that seems like that's a dream. We'll see one day. Oh, Gilbert, I remember that. Oh, for sure. Jim Hilbert type of costume. Oh yeah, Hot Rod would have been a good one. Yeah, I'm excited to get there too. I can see Jim Hilbert print out the Falcons. Oh, we'll do some silly stuff. Honestly, like whatever I do, like it's probably gonna just be very low effort, and hopefully it'll be funny. But we'll do some like very satirical stuff for sure. Yo, but I remember that. Like, hey, I guess we were. I guess honestly that's true. Like before last week's stream, a week ago, I think we were just under 100. So from last week to now, I want to say we've grown maybe like 30-40 subs. So that's pretty good. I have one more idea. Maybe have a playoff league for your channel. Everyone choose. Oh, that's actually fun. Play through Super Bowl. So Blue Hawaii, actually, I don't know if anyone here has played it, but we could. I would be very, very down. Have you guys ever played the NFL Playoff Challenge? So pretty much, it's just like fantasy. It's through NFL.com, and essentially all you do is you pick players. You can pick them every week, and you get bonuses if your player like wins that week and goes into the next round. The only thing I don't love about it is that it really encourages you to just pick all of the players from who you think is going to go to the Super Bowl, which is like fine, but that actually, like, if you guys are interested, I would 100% set up an NFL playoff bracket so that we can all play that. I think that's a great idea, and that's something we can do now, because obviously, like, we can't really do much now since, you know, like, we can't really do Survivor, we can't really do Fantasy, but I like that idea. Let's yeah, let's keep that on the notes, and let's do that for sure. Oh, for sure, Ty. It's tough. It's tough. And I guess, you know, for me, it's not even an excuse, but you know, for me, because I'm doing these streams like let's say like, you know, 3 days a week, but I'm trying to go into 4. In addition to that, and making video making has gotten a little bit easier, but honestly, like the research plus all the like the filming and editing, it takes a long time. So like tonight I'll probably be up until like 2 doing this, since I did want to stream, which, you know, it's completely fine. I prefer streaming than editing right now, but just like the editing is tough, and my video qualities I actually don't even think is like that great, and I have ways to make it a lot better and make it sharper. I just don't know if it's like worth the effort to put into it right now, because I think it's gonna involve a lot more work recording wise. So let me know if you guys think my video quality is like absolute trash on my uploads, and I'd be happy to up the quality a little bit. But yeah, it takes a lot of time in addition to, you know, full-time job, and still wanting to, you know, spend time with a girlfriend and be able to do my own stuff, exercise, and like do hobbies outside. So it's tough. Luke, yeah, for sure. Thank you for coming by. I think we're ending the stream soon anyways, but yeah, good luck with your homework. Oh yeah, I'm on West Coast, Ty, for sure, for sure. Burke. Man, I don't know if I would be happy or frightened if DK showed up on my in my dreams. But yeah, guys. So like I said, yeah, probably ending the stream soon. No, this has been really great. For those of you that were here at the beginning, I hope you liked the little stream intro. But what I can do is actually, if you guys want to keep on talking for a little bit, I actually have a little stream end thing that I can post up and leave up for a little bit if you guys want to continue to chat. But yeah, I probably need to get to actually editing the video and finishing it up so I have some content for you tomorrow. But okay, for sure, for the end, yeah, for sure. Yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna do my little, you know, the little very basic end stream thing up. So if you guys want to keep on chatting for a little bit, it'll probably be up for like another 10 minutes after I sign off. But yeah, so tomorrow we'll have the waiver wire video up in the morning. I'll try and get it up by 10 o'clock my time at the latest, but hopefully a little bit earlier. And then tomorrow night, I think we'll start a stream a little bit earlier. I like that, Blue. I like that reference if it's what I think it is. But yeah, tomorrow, since especially if there's gonna be a lot of trades, I'm gonna maybe try and start by like, I think 8 p.m. Pacific, if that's okay. If 8 p.m. isn't too late for you guys, which hopefully it isn't, because I started today at like what 9:30, and it seems like a lot of you guys. We should design promos for fake products and make. I know, right? But yeah, let's say like 8:30 at the latest tomorrow night. But I will post my actual schedule in the video tomorrow in the comments, so you guys will know. But hey, guys, it's been great. Yeah, well, let's see. I challenge especially the 49ers and Seahawks guys in here to maybe recruit some more of your fan base, and so we can get a proper 49ers versus Seahawks chat war going on. Right, sponsored? Yeah, let's see. We'll I don't think I'm gonna get sponsored at all, but we'll see if we can get sponsored by the time we get 1,000 subscribers, and we'll see what it's gonna be. It's gonna be something really stupid. Right, it's gonna be that like Rob Gronkowski, the whole like Manscaped commercial. If you guys haven't seen it, just look up a Rob Gronkowski Manscaped commercial, and like I thought it was a joke at first, but it's like an actual commercial. And I'm like I get it because it's Gronk, but like, man, is that rough. Oh yeah, Burke, find all the reinforcements you can get. I believe in you, my man. Yeah, and I appreciate all of you guys. But yeah, thank you so much. I'll keep the end screen on for a little bit. Let me know if you guys like it, and the music will be playing. But yeah, and look out for the content tomorrow morning. And yeah, we'll see y'all tomorrow night around 8:30 Pacific. All right, peace, guys. Good night.